Welcome to San Luis Obispo, California for CCL Baseball on the Four Stars Radio Network. Today the Stars will play their rival, the SLO Blues, for the fourth time this week. I'm Hunter Shoemake, and we welcome you to Sinsheimer Park. And, well, today the Stars will look to level the season series against the Blues, currently trailing 1-2, and bounce back from yesterday's loss against the Conejo Oaks when the Stars dropped that game in a scoreline of 1-4 to the team just south of Santa Barbara. Here's the starting lineup today for the Stars. Leading off in right field, Maddox Mandino back in the top spot in the order. Addison Klepsch will be at third to bat second. Cole Chamberlain bumped up a couple spots, batting third and catching. Brady Dalmore to be the cleanup man, and also the DH. To bat fifth, Caden Miller, who will be at first base. Down in the sixth hole today will be Terrence Kill, the center fielder. Batting seventh, the switch hitter, Sawyer Farr to be at second base. Batting eighth, the shortstop, Coleman Ryan. In the ninth spot, the left fielder, Makani Navarro. And the starting pitcher for the Stars will be A.J. Crodell. It's a picture-perfect day from San Luis Obispo. Thanks for joining us on the Four Stars Radio Network as the SLO Blues will look to their starting right-hander, a 6'1", 220-pound right-hander who plays with the Oregon Ducks. Will have his second start of the season. So far this year's pitched 5 innings, 4 hits, no runs, no walks, and 5 Ks. So 2 top arms on the hill today, and we'll have to see what's in store for us this afternoon. So here comes Maddox Mandino to bat from the left side. The Stars wearing their all grays, while the Blues wearing a blue top and white bottoms. Mandino stands in the left-handed batter's box, and the right-hander, Ryan Featherstrom, will wind up the first pitch to Mandino, and it's lined to the second baseman and into right field. 1 pitch and a lead-off single. Maddox Mandino, welcome back to the lineup. Didn't play yesterday. 1 pitch and a lead-off single for Santa Barbara. Great start for Santa Barbara, who are playing in their 17th game of the season, entering today at an 11-4 record. That's going to bring up to the plate Addison Klepsch after the leadoff man aboard, just seen 1 pitch from Ryan Featherston. And here comes the first delivery to Klepsch. It's a swing and a miss on the fastball, strike 1. Klepsch in .353. So far this year with the Santa Barbara Foresters, and as an entire team, the Stars just hitting 5 points under .300. A lot of production from the entire lineup. Here comes an 0-1 delivery to Klepsch. Mandino is going to take off. It's a ball, and Mandino sliding in head first, and he is in safe. The throw down to second was on the first base side of second base, and that pulled Sam Ardois off the bag, and Maddox Mandino, a base hit and already a stolen bag, and the Stars looking to strike first against the Blues. The third baseman now pinching in, Brendan Cumberford. Infield straight away. It's now 1-1 for Klepsch. Can Santa Barbara strike first, just underway in the opening inning? Here's the pitch, and it's going to be a slider in there on the outside edge for strike 2. But a nice crowd has filled in here at Sinsheimer Stadium. Most of the bleacher seats, 5 rows, filled in. The berm, not as full as it was a couple nights ago when the Stars were here in San Luis Obispo. But it's 1-2, man at second, nobody out. Here comes the pitch to Klepsch. He lifts it down the right field line, slicing into foul ground. A long run for Jordan, and it's going to fall right in front of the right fielder. Might have been a play for Donovan Jordan out and right for the SLO Blues right fielder. But it remains 1-2 for Klepsch. Next will be Chamberlain and then Brady Dalmore for Santa Barbara. Santa Barbara, the last time they were up here at Sinsheimer Park, a commanding 10-3 victory over the SLO Blues. Jaden Barfield, the first man out of the pen, picked up the win. But Mandino is at second, nobody out here in the opening inning. Featherston, the right-hander for the Blues, looks to second and fires home a 1-2 pitch. Slider will miss upstairs, 2-2 for Addison. After the loss yesterday to the Conejo Oaks, the Stars just a half game ahead of Conejo in the Southern Division. So things getting tight in the South. And here comes another 2-2 pitch from Featherston. Mandino takes off to third, and this ball's lined and caught by the second baseman. They're going to double him up at second base. Mandino was taking off. Klepsch lines out to the second baseman to turn a double play. Mandino was at third when that ball was nearly hit after such a good jump, but that ball hit straight to the second baseman. then able just to flip over to the shortstop to double up Mandino at second. So after the leadoff single, a stolen base, the Sturs now have the bases empty, 2 down for Cole Chamberlain. Tough turn of events for the Sturs in the opening inning. Bases now clear, 2 down. So here's Chamberlain to bat from the left side. First pitch from Featherston is a fastball missing away at the knees, ball 1. Chamberlain hitting 300 so far this year, but the base is now cleared, 2 down in the opening inning. Ryan Featherston, the right-hander from Oregon, will deal a 1-0 pitch. Changeup is away for ball 2. And we have seen a couple of the changes for Bill Pintard here today. Obviously, Mandino with 1 pitch, a leadoff single, back in the top spot in the order. Chamberlain bumped up a couple spots. We've typically seen him batting in the 5 spot this season, but now batting in the 3 hole for Bill Pintard this afternoon. Comes a 2-0 pitch. Fastball is going to miss it down for ball 3. Also, Brady Dallimore has typically been more in the 7 spot throughout this season. Batting cleanup today. So shuffling around the lineup card for the Santa Barbara Foresters. Just underway in the opening inning. Bases clear, 2 down. Here comes a 3-0 pitch to Cole Chamberlain, and it's away for ball 4. Changeup missing from Featherston. And a 2-out walk for Chamberlain to continue the inning for Santa Barbara. Second base runner of the inning. Remember, Featherston, in his first 5 innings pitched this season with the SLO Blues, he's only given up 4 hits, no runs, no walks, and 5 strikeouts. So that's the first walk given up this year by Ryan Featherston. And that's now going to bring in Brady Dallimore to bat from the right side against the right-handed starting pitcher. Man on, 2 down. First pitch, be a slider missing upstairs for ball 1. Santa Barbara have an opportunity today to level the season series against their rivals, playing their 4th game against the Blues this afternoon. Man on, 2 down. Here comes a 1-0 pitch, and the slider will find the outside edge for strike 1. And on the flip side, we've been talking about the record for Santa Barbara. The SLO Blues, 500 in CCL play, 9-9, their overall record. Here comes a 1-1 pitch. It's on 2 hoppers to the third baseman. Tough pick on the backhand, but the third baseman made that look smooth. Brendan Comerford off a short hop, off the second bounce, fields it on the backhand, retired Dallimore at first. So the Sturs have a base hit and a walk, but come up empty. We'll step aside. A.J. Crodell out to the hill, the starter for Santa Barbara when we return.
Lee & Sons Plumbing and Heating is proud to join the Foresters family of sponsors this season. I, Conan, a third-generation owner, was proud to coach for the Foresters for several seasons. Just like the Foresters are champs on the field, Lee & Sons are champs off it. We're experts in every type of plumbing and heating service and repair, from leaks and clogs to heaters and faucets. Strike out your plumbing problems by calling us at 805-965-9586. Lee & Sons, the champions of plumbing and heating. 805-965-9586. Stir it up.
Need a new copier for your office? Coastal Copy is the original copier dealer in the Tri-Counties and your authorized Kyocera dealer, offering complete sales, service, and supplies on a full line of Kyocera Task Alpha digital MFPs. And thanks to the latest in Kyocera mobile and cloud technology, we offer Kyocera's mobile print app, which allows you to access documents through your smartphone or tablet. Call us today to schedule your free assessment and quote.
You'll see a difference because we go the distance.
Call 1-800-995-8835.
The starting pitcher today for Santa Barbara will be UCSB Gaucho, A.J. Crodell. Get his 4th start of the season so far for A.J. 12 1/3 innings pitched, 9 hits, only a single run given up by A.J. He's walked 3, but struck out 20. He has been wheeling and dealing in his first 3 starts for Santa Barbara. He's got a 1-0 record and an ERA south of 1. And the defense behind A.J. will be Addison Klepsch at third, Coleman Ryan at short, Sawyer Farr, the second baseman. Caden Miller is at first. Cole Chamberlain will do the catching. Makani Nabarro back in the lineup, batting ninth and in left field. Terrence Kill will be the center fielder, and Maddox Mandino out in right. For the SLO Blues, they'll have E.J. Royal, Diego Murillo, and Donovan Jordan scheduled in the bottom of the first inning. No score after the Sturs had a base hit and a walk, but a double play slowed down the efforts for Santa Barbara in the first. But for AJ, his last start was on the 21st of June, so 7 days ago. It was against the San Diego Bombers in a very solid performance for Crodell. Picked up the win in 5 innings, 3 hits, no runs. He walked 2 and struck out 10. That's how good he was. And really, the UC Santa Barbara pitchers on this Foresters team have been exceptional this year. But here comes EJ Royal as he will dig into the right-handed batter's box. The Blues wearing their blue top and white bottoms, and the Stars in their all grays this afternoon. Crodell, not wasting any time, winds up the first pitch, and the fastball is well down and away. Ball 1. Crodell works with a fastball, slider, changeup, and curveball. 4-pitch mix for the right-hander. Here comes a 1-0. And the fastball is located this time 1-1 right down the middle from AJ. EJ Royal hitting 3 points under 300. Here comes a 1-1, and the fastball is down for ball 2. Royal, Murillo, and Jordan were the SLO Blues, who had a tough day yesterday. They were able to find a walk-off win against the Santa Maria Indians. Here comes a 2-1. It's going to miss inside, another fastball for ball 3, but the Indians not part of the CCL. And when you ask around the people in the organization here at the SLO Blues, it wasn't the best game. They were able to find a win, but not the best performance and execution yesterday by the Blues. The leadoff man is ahead. Here comes a 3-1 pitch, and it misses upstairs. Ball 4, fastball missed from AJ, and a leadoff walk for the SLO Blues. Royal is aboard. No score in the bottom of the first, and EJ Royal is aboard base on balls, and that's going to bring up Diego Murillo, number 2 batter for San Luis Obispo. And it's a very nice day here in SLO. Right around 72 degrees, light winds 6 miles an hour out of the west. Here's the first pitch. Fastball high and in, and Crodell has thrown a lot of fastballs, just hasn't been able to locate it yet. He's yanked a couple down in the dirt, missed a couple high. Man on, nobody out. Here comes a 1-0. There's a slider. It's in there, 1-1. So Crodell working from the first base side of the hill. And we said it last time he started, he works exceptionally fast. Man on. Here comes a 1-1 pitch. Squaring around to bunt is Murillo. He pulls it back. Fastball missed upstairs for ball 2. As this is the 4th time these two teams playing this week, they will also play tomorrow. But here comes a 2-1 pitch, and it's lined in right field, and it's into the gap. Maybe some extra bases for Murillo. Royals going first to third, and he's coming home. It's scooped up by Mandino in right. There's no play at the plate, and an RBI double for Murillo. The Blues take a 1-0 lead. Murillo, a shot into the right center field gap. And from first all the way coming home is EJ Royal. And Murillo punishes Crodell and the Stars after the leadoff walk with a double to follow up. And the Blues now lead 1-0. Bottom of the first. Man at second, nobody out. And here's Donovan Jordan. Crodell looks to second. First pitch induces a swing all tied up on Jordan. Couldn't lay off the slider, strike 1. So that's just the second run given up by Crodell through 12 and a third innings pitched this season. Wind's picking up just a fraction. Here's an 0-1, and swing to miss, another slider. Jordan completely fooled. 0-2. Crodell looks to lock in. Scored the first out this opening inning. Man at second, and already a run in for the Blues. AJ looks back to second and fires a strike 2 pitch, and the fastball is away. Ball 1. For Jordan, batting out of the 3-hole today for Dean Traynor. 344 average. He's brought home 8 runs this year. He's got an RBI sitting out at second base. The winds are blowing right to left, pole to pole. But Crodell fires a 1-2 pitch. Curveball will miss away. 2-2. Decent lead off the second base for Murillo. Sawyer Farr, the second baseman, just a few paces away on the first base side of the park. But now the 2-2 pitch, slider is down and away. Count is now full. That was a good pick by Chamberlain, who slid to his right, the catcher for Santa Barbara. Already a run in for the Blues. They lead 1-0, bottom of the first frame. Man at second, Crodell looks for a big first out. Fires home the 3-2 pitch. Fastball is on the outside edge. Called strike three and a big first out for AJ. One away in the first. You just saw Crodell take a deep breath on the hill. He's been sensational in his first three starts. To start off this outing, hasn't been able to locate the fastball, located it there perfectly on the outside edge, and a big first out. The man at second, a run in. That's going to bring up the number 4 batter, Zach Tollerman, the Blues, by 1. Here comes the first pitch. It's going to be a slider, front dooring its way into the right-handed batter, strike 1. Tollerman, a .333 batter, but slugging .667. Of the 6 home runs for the Blues, Tollerman has 2. He's got a lot of pop in his barrel. Here's 0-1, and the fastball on the outside edge, 1-2. The shortstop, Coleman Ryan, playing deep in the hole. He's in the short left grass as the shortstop. Rest of the infield more at double play depth. One down, man at second. 0-2 pitch, sliders down and away. Ball 1 to Tollerman. You can see AJ grinding on the hill, resetting after every pitch. 1 run is coming in this inning. Neenan will now deal 1-2 pitch to Tollerman, and the fastball is in there at the upper half of the zone. Tollerman goes down looking, and back-to-back Ks for Crodell. Both of them looking, 2 down in the first. Great work from AJ, getting himself an early deficit, an early hole, a walk, and then a double. And then he Ks the next 2. That's going to bring up the first left-handed batter in this lineup, Andrew Raymond. Man at second, 1 run in, bottom of the first. Here's the pitch. And the changeup is in there, ball 1. Strike 1, rather. Raymond hitting .227. Crodell will look to limit the damage to just 1 run here in the first. Looks to second, fires home the 0-1 pitch. Fastball is away this time, 1-1. And you look at the lineup and the split today for the Blues, just 2 lefties. Conversely, for Santa Barbara, 4 lefties with a switch hitter in the form of Sawyer Farr. 2 down, man at second. 1-1 pitch. There's a slider missing inside to the left-handed batter, 2-1. Raymond has 2 runs batted in this year. Now Sawyer Farr, the second baseman, playing deep in the hole on the right side. Now at 2-1. Fastball misses inside from Crodell. 3-1 now the count. The Stars just holding on to a slim margin ahead and atop the CCL South at 11-4. Half game ahead of the Conejo Oaks. Comes a 3-1 pitch. Swing and a miss on the changeup. Full count. Murillo at second, 1 run in. Crodell has clawed and scratched his way back into this inning. 3-2 pitch, strikes him out, swing and a miss, and Raymond goes down swinging. And Crodell, 3 strikeouts after giving up a leadoff walk and then a double to limit it to just 1 run. Well done from AJ. Through 1, Blues on top, 1-0 over Santa Barbara.
During this time of record market highs and gradual economic recovery, it's essential you have someone you can trust. For 10 consecutive years, the Santa Barbara News Press Reader's Choice Poll has awarded Tremblay Financial Services recognition for the financial guidance they provide their clients. Tremblay Financial Advisors continually educate their clients with new options and financial planning tailored fit to you. For more information or an appointment, call 569 1982 or log on to tremblayfinancial.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Centaurus Financial Inc., member FINRA and SIPC, a registered investment advisor. Tremblay Financial Services and Centaurus Financial are not affiliated companies. Investing involves risk, including potential loss of principal. No investment strategy can guarantee a profit or protect against a loss in periods of declining values.
When it comes to your office equipment needs, call Coastal Copy. We're the largest independent office equipment dealership in the Tri-Counties, and as your locally owned authorized Savin dealer, Coastal Copy offers complete sales, service, and supplies on a full line of Savin digital copiers and MFPs, Savin color printers, digital duplicators, Savin wide format systems, digital presses, document management solutions, and more. That's Coastal Copy.
You'll see a difference because we go the distance.
Call 1-800-995-8835.
Into the second inning, Caden Miller will lead off for the Santa Barbara Forsters. Blues on top 1-0 over Santa Barbara. Miller bats from the left side, and Featherston winds up the first pitch, and it's foul back just to the left of the press box, over the screen, and out of the entire complex for strike one. Miller, Kill, and Farr scheduled 5, 6, and 7 for the Santa Barbara Forsters. Well done from Crodell, striking out 3 after giving up a run early in the first inning. Here comes an 0-1 pitch, and the changeup will clip the outside edge for strike 2 on Miller. Just beyond the right field fence, slow Amtrak train rolling by here at Sinsheimer Stadium. Infield straight away, but now 0-2 pitch to Caden Miller. A high fly ball into right. Just got underneath it. Jordan, the right fielder, slides over towards the chalk line and makes the squeeze. 1 away in the second. Miller just missed that one. Got under it just a fraction. He is retired to bring up Terrence Kill. Base is clear. 1 down in the second. GK will bat from the right side, hitting .302 this year. And Terrence, an unfamiliar spot in the lineup today for Bill Pintard. Typically, we've seen him in the 2-hole in recent games, batting 6th today. So 1 away and the base is clear. Blues by a run. Here comes the first pitch. And it's going to be in there on a slider. TK kind of ducked underneath it, but it bent its way back in the zone. 0-1. Ryan Featherston is just in his second start this season with the Blues. Wind up the 0-1 pitch. Fastball will miss inside. Big change on the speeds on that slider, then to the fastball for the right-hander who plays with the Oregon Ducks. And Terrence Kill batting from the right side. Base is clear, 1 away. Now see a 1-1 pitch. And changeup will miss upstairs for ball 2. For the SLO Blues, middle of the pack of the Northern Division. Of course, the Stars playing in the South. Here's a 2-1, and that one's nearly hit TK. He kind of ducked underneath it, but it will miss inside. On the release point from Featherston. He is a right-handed pitcher against the right-handed batter, but it was coming close to TK, but he's now ahead 3-1, 1 away. Here comes the pitch. Fastball is lifted into right field. Donovan Jordan will slide back a couple of feet, and then we'll have to fight the wind, move in, but we'll make the play out in right field. And Terrence Kill is retired, 2 down in the second. Both outs being recorded so far by Donovan Jordan out in right. Now that's going to bring up Sawyer. There was an interesting situation yesterday, and if you were following along the game against the Conejo Oaks back in the 9th inning of a 3-run game, Sawyer Farr was brought in to switch hit. Bats from the left side, and the first pitch will be a called strike on a fastball on the inside half of the plate. 0-1. Well, right before Sawyer was brought into the game, Brady Dallimore was coming in to pinch hit. Then the Oaks made a pitching change to bring in a left-handed batter against the righty Dallimore. Here's an 0-1 now. Fastball miss high, 1-1. Then Bill Pintard says, okay, I can bring in the switch hitter to take care of either side. They used Dallimore in one spot, able to scratch him, didn't even hit, and then you bring in Sawyer. With 2 down, bases clear. Here comes a 1-1 pitch. He tried to get out of the way, but it hits him on the right hip. He's going to get to first base, tried to shimmy his way out of it, but hits him on the right hip, and the Sturs have a 2-out base runner in the second.
Ouch, that looks like it hurt. This hit by a pitch brought to you by AltaOrthopedics.com. Got hurt? Call them.
So far today for Ryan Featherston, doing a base hit, a walk, and now a hit batter. And that will bring up Coleman Ryan, the number 8 batter for Santa Barbara. The Sturs trail by a run, top of the second. Sawyer has a big lead, increases it with a secondary lead, but the first pitch will be in there on a slider to Coleman Ryan. 0-1. Ryan had a great day yesterday, had the 9 spot bumped up, batting 8th today. Went 2 for 2 with a walk. Still a recent addition to this roster. Bard's at first, and a check over to him as he slides in head first, and a big kick up of dust at first base. In case you're wondering, Farr's 4 stolen bases on 7 attempts this season. Santa Barbara trail by a run, top of the second. Now here comes an 0-1 pitch to Coleman Ryan. I'll have to wait. Another check over to Sawyer. A little bit closer this time. The first baseman, Zach Tollerman, holds on to him. Another bigger dust cloud kicks up, and we've seen a couple funky bounces here. The 3 games being played at Sinsheimer Park. Sometimes you can take some funky hops on the infield on any ground balls. Long hold, and now the 0-1 pitch, and the fastball is away to Coleman Ryan. 1-1. And Ryan looks down at Steve Shuck down the third baseline. But Ryan 4 for 9 in his first 9 ABs as a Forester. Man on, and another check to Sawyer Farr. Another diving play. Hands first, back to first base for Sawyer. And you look at the numbers in terms of the running game for both teams. 41 stolen bases for Santa Barbara on 57 attempts. That's through just 16 games. Now the 1-1 pitch is fouled back directly behind the plate by Coleman Ryan. 1 ball and 2 strikes. If Ryan's able to reach with 2 down in the second, Makani Nabarro will be next for Santa Barbara. Barr continues to inch his way off of first base, digs in with his left foot. Like a runner on a track. There he goes. 1-2 pitch is away, far down to second base, feet first, and he is in safely. Stolen bag, number 2 on the day for the Sturs, coming with 2 down in the second. And the count was 1-2. Last pitch missed to Coleman Ryan's now 2 balls, 2 strikes. Infield straight away. Sturs have their first runner in second runner in scoring position. Now the 2-2 pitch just off the end of the bat for Coleman Ryan. Rolls to the first base on deck circle. He stays alive. The Sturs conceded a run in the last inning. They look to equalize in the top of the second. 2 down. It's a 2-2 count. Here comes the pitch. This is a shot into left, falling quick, but Raymond will slide over and makes the squeeze. Coleman Ryan a line out in the left to retire the side. Farr was hit by a pitch, stole a base, but left stranded through 1.5. The Blues by 1.
It's out of here. It's tough to tell whether that's another Forester's home run or one of the many flights going out of the Santa Barbara airport. With 22 daily departures and 11 direct destinations, including Chicago, Dallas, Las Vegas, San Diego, and Seattle, there's no need to drive and fly when you can take off local at the Santa Barbara airport. Prepare for a departure from the usual travel experience. Choose SBA and depart differently. A proud partner of the Santa Barbara Foresters.
When it comes to your office equipment needs, call Coastal Copy. We're the largest independent office equipment dealership in the Tri-Counties, and as your locally owned authorized Savin dealer, Coastal Copy offers complete sales, service, and supplies on a full line of Savin digital copiers and MFPs, Savin color printers, digital duplicators, Savin wide format systems, digital presses, document management solutions, and more. That's Coastal Copy.
You'll see
Call 1-800-995-8835.
Bottom of the second inning, Gavin Smith, Brendan Cumberford, Charlie Caruso will be scheduled for the SLO Blues. That is 6, 7, and 8. If anyone reaches Sam Ardois, the number 9 batter, will face A.J. Crodell. It was a great effort from the starting pitcher who gave up a walk and then RBI double to then strike out the next 3 in order to limit the damage to just a single run in the opening inning. As it is a 1-0 score going in the bottom of the second, here comes Gavin Smith, the DH today, for the SLO Blues. Crodell, the first pitch, is going to be a slider well away, and Cole Chamberlain had to reach all the way across his body with the mitt in his left hand to grab that ball. So it's 1-0, and already the next pitch, fastball chopped left side. Here comes Coleman Ryan, charges in a few paces, and the throw is a little high, but on target enough for Caden Miller, and Gavin Smith grounds out to short. 1 down in the second. Just a reminder on the defense, Klepsch is at third today. Ryan just made the play at short. Sawyer Farr is at second. Caden Miller at first. Makani Nabarro back in the lineup in left. Terrence Kill in center. Mandino in right. Cole Chamberlain does the catching. So 1 away, base is clear. First pitch to Cumberford. Fastball away, ball 1. Cumberford hitting .271, batting from the right side. Comes the 1-0 pitch, is a slider just missing high. For ball 2. Two teams will still play again tomorrow, but Santa Barbara look to equalize the season series. Here comes a 2-0. Fly ball into left. Makani Nabarro has to drift back a few paces now in front of the warning track, and a high fly ball is caught by Makani. 2 down in the second. Cumberford is retired. And now Crodell, after that RBI double, struck out 3 and retired the first 2 in the second. And we did see that fly ball in the left carry a little bit more. That is the prevailing breeze here at Sinsheimer Park, blowing out to left. Now batting from the left side is Charlie Caruso. 2 down, bases clear. Here's the first pitch. Fastball in there for strike 1. Blues leading 1-0, bottom of the second. And Crodell already ready to fire. Caruso stepped out, and already the 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss on the changeup in front of it for strike 2. And again, Crodell is ready to roll. All set from the belt. Caruso tightened the gloves, stands back in. A 2 down, 0-2 pitch to Caruso is just missing inside on the slider, it looked like, for ball 2. Did not miss by much, and again, Caruso takes a moment, steps back in, the left-handed batter, and AJ already ready to go. A little bit of a longer hold, and now we'll wind up the 2-2 pitch, and that is in there. Called strike 3. 4 Ks on the day for Crodell, and just has to face the minimum. Through 2, the Blues still on top of 1-0 over the Foresters.
During this time of record market highs and gradual economic recovery, it's essential you have someone you can trust. For 10 consecutive years, the Santa Barbara News Press Reader's Choice Poll has awarded Tremblay Financial Services recognition for the financial guidance they provide their clients. Tremblay Financial Advisors continually educate their clients with new options and financial planning tailored fit to you. For more information or an appointment, call 569-1982 or log on to tremblayfinancial.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Centaurus Financial Inc., member FINRA and SIPC, a registered investment advisor. Tremblay Financial Services and Centaurus Financial are not affiliated companies. Investing involves risk, including potential loss of principal. No investment strategy can guarantee a profit or protect against a loss in periods of declining values.
On to the third inning, and the Foresters trail by a run. They will have 9, 1, and 2 scheduled in the third. Navarro, Mandino, and Klepsch. But here comes Makani Navarro to bat from the left side. And this is the first game since June 21st, so 7 days since Navarro's last plate appearance. He will stand in against the right-handed starter, Ryan Featherston. Here comes the first pitch, as Makani will foul it back just to the left of the press box, and a towering foul ball, and back in the park behind where we're sitting. Strike one. And Makani, in the early goings of the season, had a very fast start with the Foresters. Here comes the strike one pitch. And the off speed is in there for strike two, and Navarro quickly down 0-2. And if you've been following along with the Foresters, on June 7th against the Oaks, Makani went 4 for 4. We'll have to shorten up here, leading off. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. High fly ball into right. E.J. Royal, the center fielder, makes the run over into the gap and will make the squeeze halfway deep in the right center field lawn, and Navarro is retired. That's going to bring around the top of the order. And Maddox Mandino get his second look at Featherston. And remember, Mandino only needed one pitch for a base hit in the right. Then also stole a base, but then was doubled up on a line into a double play by Klepsch. So here comes the first pitch. There's going to be a changeup missing away to Mandino for ball one. And in this inning, the ball batted from the left side, as is Mandino. Klepsch, right-handed hitter, will be next. One away, and the base is clear. Here comes a 1-0, and the fastball will miss away for ball two. Blues on top by a run. Top of the third inning. Cumber for the third baseman pinched in a little bit. Infield straight away. 2-0 is on the ground. One hopper to the second baseman. Ranges over. Ardois sidearms it to first. Good play by the second baseman to retire Mandino. 2 down in the third. That ball was bumping its way through the infield, and pretty smooth play by the second baseman. Now 3 retired by Featherston. And that's going to bring up Addison Klepsch. Bases cleared, 2 down, Sturs trailing by a run. First pitch, the right-handed batter, will be a slider missing away. Caruso tried to drag it back into the zone. It is ball one. And Featherston working from the middle of the hill. 1-0 pitch is another slider, this time in there for a strike. 1-1. Klepsch has been on a pretty good run last couple games for the Sturs. Batting second today. Here comes the 1-1. Fastball is down for ball two. And if you've been with us the last couple games, the first game this week in SLO, pinch hit RBI single, I should say it was his third plate appearance of the day, but did not start the game. And then the next day, explode out of a cannon. Here's a 2-1 pitch and a massive swing by Klepsch, nearly swinging out of his shoes. 2-2. Then game 3, back on the 25th, went 3 for 4, drove in 4 runs. Here's a 2-2 pitch, and just tapping it foul off the bottom of the barrel, rolling its way to the first base on deck circle. Klepsch stays alive. Not only the 3 hits, but a walk and 3 stolen bases. Even yesterday, top spot of the order. He had a base hit and a runs and an RBI as well. He's been seeing the baseball very well. 2 down, the base is clear. 2-2 pitch. He will chop this outside of third base. And a man comes out of the third base dugout. Looks like Liam Keithley to field that ball barehanded out of the Forester dugout. Left-hand side of the ballpark. But the Blues have a 1-run lead. Crodell has settled in very nicely into his outing, the starter for Santa Barbara. But right now, the starter for the Blues, Featherston, has retired the first 2 in this inning, and now the 2-2 pitch is a slider rolled over to the shortstop. Murillo held his ground, the throw on target in time, and a 3-up, 3-down third for Ryan Featherston. Through 2.5, Blues on top by 1 over the Sturs. Santa Barbara Airport has 5 airlines: American, Alaska, Delta Air, Southwest, and United, with 12 direct destinations from Santa Barbara to Atlanta, Dallas, Denver, Las Vegas, Oakland, Los Angeles, Salt Lake City, Portland, San Francisco, Phoenix, Seattle, and Sacramento. With 23 daily departures from Santa Barbara, SBA's newest daily service on Delta Airlines to Atlanta and Salt Lake City can ensure that you can get anywhere in the world in just one stop. SBA is proud to join over 200 airports around the world in the Hidden Disabilities Sunflower Program. Passengers with a disability can opt into the program, and in doing so, trained staff at SBA will be there to provide additional level of customer service. You can learn more at www.flysba.com. Once again, you can learn more and book your flights today from Santa Barbara at www.flysba.com. Bottom of the third inning, the SLO Blues lead 1-0 over the Forsters. SLO will have 9, 1, and 2 scheduled: Ardois, Royal, and Murillo. If anyone gets on, Jordan, as A.J. Crodell has now retired 6 straight. You were with us at the beginning, a leadoff walk, then RBI double, and then since then he has retired 6 straight. So Crodell is settled in, and he already looks like he's ready to go. Ardois taking his time digging into the right-handed batter's box. And Crodell, first pitch is going to be a slider on the outside edge for strike 1. AJ has tossed 34 pitches through the first 2. Infield straightaway, as is the outfield. 0-1 pitch. This one's down in the dirt. 1-1. 3 righties scheduled for the SLO Blues against the right-hander Crodell. One of the couple UC Santa Barbara Gauchos, part of this Forester staff. Here comes the 1-1. Fastball down and away, ball 2. Ardois hitting .254, but slugging .558 this season. Here comes a 2-1 pitch, fooled there on the slider, 2-2. It was a tough swing from Ardois, and again, Crodell's already to let her rip. Here comes the 2-2 pitch, and it's rolled on the ground to second base. Sawyer Farr just ranges over to his left, and the throw will be well in time. Ardois is retired for 3. It looks like that was the changeup to induce the soft contact by AJ. But he's now retired 7 straight, and that's going to bring around the top of the order in EJ Royal. Royal had the leadoff walk and has scored the only run of this ball game as the Blues do lead 1-0 over the Sturs. Bottom of 3. Royal bats from the right side. Here comes the first pitch, and the fastball's on the outside edge. 0-1. This is game 4 of 7 this season between these two clubs. Here comes the 0-1. Fastball is down, 1-1. Last year, these two teams played 8 times, with the Sturs losing that season series, only claiming 3 of those 8 games. Here comes the 1-1. Fastball well away. 2 balls, 1 strike. 1 down, and the base is clear. Bottom of the 3rd inning. AJ, 2-1 pitch is chopped on 2 hops into the hole and through the left side in the left field. A 1-out knock for EJ Royal, and he's aboard for the 2nd time today. Addison Klepsch made a diving play towards second base. He is the 3rd baseman, but that ball was perfectly in the hole, and Coleman Ryan, who was playing deeper at short, couldn't get over there. And a 1-out knock for Royal. Second hit of the day for the Blues. So 1 on, 1 down, and that's going to bring up Diego Murillo. He also bats from the right side. Here comes the pitch. The runner's taken off already, but the ball is rolled and chopped foul down the 3rd baseline. That is strike 1. This is a similar situation to the opening inning when the Blues scored. Royal aboard and Diego Murillo went the other way to bring home the first run of the day. Royal went first all the way to home on the double into the gap. AJ checks over to him, and the throw was on the outfield side of first as Caden Miller had to step over the the runner sliding back into first base. Kind of straddled him there for a second to receive that throw from the starting pitcher. We'll see if the runner tries to take off again. And here comes the 0-1 pitch. It's a slider inducing a swing, 0-2. And the grass berms surrounding the stadium seats here at Sinsheimer Park have filled in quite nicely. Probably say about 75% capacity today for Sinsheimer Park. The 0-2 is rolled towards the third base dugout off a couple hops and back into the screen. Man at first, one down, Blues by a run, bottom of the third inning. Crodell is ahead in the count. Here comes the 0-2 pitch to Murillo. Have to wait in the check over to first base, but the ball gets away. It's into shallow right field. And the runner at first is going to third, and the throw to third base won't be in time. And a two-base error to allow Royal to go first to third. And on the E1, a two-base error from Crodell thrown over to first gets away from Caden Miller, is on the outfield side of first base. And that eliminates the double play for ground ball for Diego Murillo, and that changes the game plan as well. He's down the count 0-2, but a runner at third, just one down. And the Blues look to take a 2-0 lead. Infield now in. Here comes the 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss on the slider. Big second out for A.J. Crodell. And now play coming home. They're trying to steal home, and they do. Stealing home, E.J. Royal. The ball was put back into play after the strikeout towards the infield. Everyone looked away, and E.J. Royal just stole home and is now 2-0 Blues. I think everyone in this park looked away for a second, and Royal, the opportunistic base running, just stole home. It is now 2-0. So Crodell just picked up his 5th K, but Royal makes it a 2-0 game with the stealing home. Here comes the first pitch. It's down in the dirt. Donovan Jordan. That is ball 1. Base is now clear and a run in for the Blues. Here comes a 1-0 pitch to Jordan. Swing and a miss on the fastball. Ball and a strike. Infield back. So it's normal depth straight away after playing in. Here comes a 1-1 to Jordan. The changeup missing inside, ball 2. Here comes the next pitch to Jordan. Big swing and a miss. It's now 2-2 on the number 3 batter who struck out looking back in the first. Crodell continues to want to move quickly. 2 down, base is clear, 2-2 pitch is in there, called strike 3. Jordan's going to go down looking for the second time. The slider from AJ working well, but a run does come in. EJ Royal, a base hit, advances around on errant throw and steals home to make it a 2-0 lead for the Blues after 3.
Lee & Sons Plumbing and Heating is proud to join the Foresters family of sponsors this season. I, Conan, a third-generation owner, was proud to coach for the Foresters for several seasons. Just like the Foresters are champs on the field, Lee & Sons are champs off it. We're experts in every type of plumbing and heating service and repair, from leaks and clogs to heaters and faucets. Strike out your plumbing problems by calling us at 805-965-9586. Lee & Sons, the champions of plumbing and heating. 805-965-9586. Stir it up.
Need a new copier for your office? Coastal Copy is the original copier dealer in the Tri-Counties and your authorized Kyocera dealer, offering complete sales, service, and supplies on a full line of Kyocera Task Alpha digital MFPs. And thanks to the latest in Kyocera mobile and cloud technology, we offer Kyocera's mobile print app, which allows you to access documents through your smartphone or tablet. Call us today to schedule your free assessment and quote.
You'll see a difference.
Call 1-800-995-8835.
On to the fourth inning from Sinsheimer Park. 2-0 the Blues lead Chamberlain. Dallimore, Caden Miller will be scheduled for the Sturs, trailing by a pair of runs. Here comes the first pitch now to Cole Chamberlain. It's popped up in right field. Jordan's going to drift over, but it's going to be the center fielder, E.J. Royal, to camp out under it. One pitch, and Chamberlain, the number 3 batter, is retired. One down in the fourth. That's going to bring up Brady Dallimore as Ryan Featherston, the starting pitcher for the Blues, remains in this ball game. Still waiting on the official update on the scoring of how E.J. Royal came in to score. It might go down as an error. We'll have to wait and see, but it is regardless 2-0 Blues. First pitch now is swinging for Brady Dallimore. It's roped down the left field line and down and to the left fielder. Raymond will scoop it up. So one pitch and Brady Dallimore, a hard hit ball immediately on the ground down the left field line for a 1-out single. So Dallimore is aboard for the first time today. After Chamberlain was retired, Dallimore aboard to bring up Caden Miller. There was maybe a chance for Brendan Cumberford. It looked like he got the leather to it, diving to his right, the third baseman, but couldn't secure that hard hit baseball. But now here's Caden Miller, bats from the left side. First pitch is a slider in there for a strike, 0-1. Blues lead by 2. We're in the top of the fourth. One down and a man on for Santa Barbara. Featherston, first base side of the hill. The right-hander winds up the 0-1 pitch. And the changeup will miss away to Caden. 1-1. And for Miller, just a couple days ago, made his first appearance with Santa Barbara. I was back on the 24th, batting in the 7th spot. Today he's batting 5th. Check over to first base. Dallimore diving in head first, and a big old dust kick up again to 1-1. Here comes a 1-1 delivery, and the fastball is going to miss inside at the knees to Miller. That is ball 2. So far today for Caden, a fly out to right. But he's got a base runner at first. Can Santa Barbara chain a couple hits together? So far they now have 2 knocks. Here comes a 2-1 pitch to the left-handed batter, Miller. Swing and a miss, dropping to a knee. Fooled on the changeup, 2-2. The Sturs have had a base runner so far in 3 of the 4 innings. Last inning they went in order. Now with a man on, 1 away, the 2-2 pitch. Changeup will just miss away at the knees. Great take from Caden. Full count. After Miller will be Terrence Kill, who stands on deck, third base side of the park. Dallimore's at first, 1 away. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. It's inside, gets away from the catcher. Dallimore's going to go to second, puts on the brakes a third of the way down to third, but the ball was missing inside for ball 4. Got away from the catcher, and Dallimore, who was going to second regardless, took a wide turn at second base. Did actually slip a little bit. Got back to second, no problem. So a hit rather, and now a walk by Caden Miller. So it's first and second, 1 away in the 4th. Tying run now on base for Santa Barbara in the form of Terrence Kill. He will bat from the right side. He's 0 for 1 today, a fly out to right. And here comes the pitch. It's going to be a slider away to TK. That is ball 1. Santa Barbara had some chances last night against the Conejo Oaks when they just couldn't come up with timely hits. Had a number of walks in the late innings. And TK capitalized. Here comes a 1-0. High and tight, having to lean back away from it. Fastball missing high and in. It's now ball 2 for Terrence Kill. And Caruso, the catcher, now out to the hill. Talk things over with Ryan Featherston. As it is into the 4th inning, Featherston has been working relatively efficiently through 3. 44 pitches for the starter for the Blues. So here comes TK, stands back in. He's ahead 2 balls and no strikes. Dallimore at second, Miller's at first. 1 down. Look to second, and the runners are going to take off. The 2-0 pitch is going to miss away. Miller's going to slide into second, but they got him. Miller caught stealing for the second out. The second runner, he is gunned down by Caruso, the catcher. Dallimore does advance to third on the double steal bid. But there's the second out in the inning. Just a man at third, and the pants for Brady Dallimore looks like he's been working in the trenches for a couple days now. Looks like he's wearing tan pants instead of gray, with all the dust on the fronts of his pant legs. But it's now 3-0 for Terrence Kill. Here comes the pitch. It's popped up into center. E.J. Royal will camp out under it. And there is the inning. The fly out to center, TK retired, and the Stars had 2 base runners come up empty. Through 3.5, the Blues still on top, 2-0 over the Santa Barbara Foresters.
It's out of here. It's tough to tell whether that's another Foresters home run or one of the many flights going out of the Santa Barbara airport. With 22 daily departures and 11 direct destinations, including Chicago, Dallas, Las Vegas, San Diego, and Seattle, there's no need to drive and fly when you can take off local at the Santa Barbara airport. Prepare for a departure from the usual travel experience. Choose SBA and depart differently. A proud partner of the Santa Barbara Foresters.
Bottom of the 4th inning, the Blues lead 2-0 over the Santa Barbara Foresters. Zach Tullerman, Andrew Raymond, Gavin Smith will be scheduled for the Blues. A.J. Crodell, the right-handed starting pitcher, remains in the game. Here's the first pitch. It's a slider popped up into foul ground right side, and it looks like it's going to land right on top of the first base dugout, as it does, for strike 1. A run in the first for the Blues and a run in the third, and a very interesting run it was. Royal base hit on E1 by Crodell, who threw the ball away, trying to pick him off at first base, a 2-base error, and then as it stands, that run from E.J. Royal, it's going to go down as a stolen base for now. Still up to see if there will be an error tacked on to possibly Cole Chamberlain on the throw. That was a little bit shallow, forcing Crodell not being able to catch the ball cleanly and opening up that channel for the runner to come home. Now it's an 0-1, missing high on a fastball to Tullerman, 1-1. Already, the next pitch, the 1-1 changeup will miss in for ball 2. Tullerman today, back in the first inning, struck out looking against AJ. Crodell already winding up the 2-1 pitch. It's a slider, it's a check swing, and it's going to be a one-hop to a charging Sawyer Farr, the second baseman. He will retire the leadoff man at first base. Tullerman was checking on that slider, and it clipped the barrel and kind of flared up, floated over to second base, and Farr just had to move in off one hop, and Tullerman is retired. And that's going to bring up Andrew Raymond. Base is clear, one away. Blues lead 2-0, bottom of the 4th. First pitch, Swing and a miss late on the fastball. Ball one. Strike one, rather. Raymond struck out swinging back in the first, and he takes a moment, throwing off the rhythm of Crodell, who has been, as soon as he gets the ball, wanting to fire the next pitch. Here comes the 0-1, and the lefty batter is going to take a fastball down. 1 ball, 1 strike. In terms of the pitching situation today for the Sturs, we were informed Andrew Gardino will be the first man out. Comes the next pitch, misses upstairs for ball 2. Through 3 1/3, Crodell facing Raymond. Here comes a 2-1, and the fastball on the outside edge, 2-2. And we'll see how far Crodell and Gardino can take the Sturs in this game. Here comes the 2-2 pitch, and this is off the end of the bat and just chopped towards the third base on deck circle. Raymond stays alive. Base is clear, 1 down, bottom of 4, Blues lead 2-0. And now the 2-2 pitch is lifted in a shallow center field. Terrence Kill had to adjust, moves in, and the center fielder for the Sturs makes the play. 2 down in the 4th. 2 down, the base is clear. That's going to bring up the DH, Gavin Smith, for the SLO Blues. In his first look against AJ, grounded out to short. He'll bat from the right side. And AJ, first pitch, the right-handed batter, is sprayed on top of the first base dugout, nearly at the over the screen, protecting the fans down that first baseline for strike 1. It'll be great to see Gardino after the starters finish for Crodell. Here's an 0-1, and it's tapped down the third baseline, strike 2. Gardino's last appearance was on the 18th, so 10 days ago for Andrew. And you start to see a few guys milling around for Santa Barbara in that left field bullpen. Oh, 2 down, base is clear. Here comes the strike 2 pitch to Gavin Smith. Curveball, got him looking. 7th strikeout of the day for AJ Crodell, and the Blues go in order in the 4th. On to the 5th inning. Blues maintain a 2-run advantage over Santa Barbara.
Lee & Sons Plumbing and Heating is proud to join the Foresters family of sponsors this season. I, Conan, a third-generation owner, was proud to coach for the Foresters for several seasons. Just like the Foresters are champs on the field, Lee & Sons are champs off it. We're experts in every type of plumbing and heating service and repair, from leaks and clogs to heaters and faucets. Strike out your plumbing problems by calling us at 805-965-9586. Lee & Sons, the champions of plumbing and heating. 805-965-9586. Stir it up.
Need a new copier for your office? Coastal Copy is the original copier dealer in the Tri-Counties and your authorized Kyocera dealer, offering complete sales, service, and supplies on a full line of Kyocera Task Alpha digital MFPs. And thanks to the latest in Kyocera mobile and cloud technology, we offer Kyocera's mobile print app, which allows you to access documents through your smartphone or tablet. Call us today to schedule your free assessment and quote.
You'll see a difference because we go the distance.
Call 1-800-995-8835.
Now into the 5th inning from Sinsheimer Park in San Luis Obispo, California. In this 5th inning brought to us by our friends at Finney's Craft House. Finney's has a couple locations in Santa Barbara and Goleta. Finney's is a great place to gather before or after any Foresters game. Here comes the first pitch to Sawyer Farr. It's rolled over to the first baseman. Zach Tollerman fields it and does it himself to first base. So one pitch and Sawyer Farr will ground out to the first baseman. Quick out for Ryan Featherston, who remains in this game, the starter for the Blues. Just retired Sawyer Farr, Coleman Ryan, and Makani Nabarro will be next, the bottom 3 scheduled. So one quick out, and that's going to bring up Coleman Ryan, who is 0 for 1 today, line out into left. Comes the first pitch from Featherston. It's going to be a slider down for ball 1. Coleman Ryan now hitting .400 this season after that line out. Just 10 ABs in the small sample size for the fantastic shortstop. One down, base is clear. 1-0 pitch is into right field for a base hit. Splits the gap perfectly between Tollerman, the first baseman, and Sam Ardois, the second baseman. And Coleman Ryan is aboard for the first time today. A 1-out knock, and the Sturs have their first base runner in the 5th. And we said in the last inning, the Sturs have had a base runner in every inning except the 3rd when they win in order. But that's now going to bring up the lefty batter, Nabarro. See Featherston for the 2nd time today. Here's the pitch, and this is roped outside of first base for strike 1. Tollerman holds on to Coleman Ryan at first. The rest of the infield playing a double play depth. Nabarro a couple waggles through the zone. Here comes the 1-1 pitch to McConney. So now a little bit hold. Here's the delivery. It's a check swing. And the changeup misses away for ball 2 on Ryan Featherston. Nabarro so far today, fly out to center. Playing in his first game since June 21st, and great to see. Kind of getting the nod from Bill Pintard. We've seen a number of different players getting cycled in the last couple days. Here comes the 1-1, and it's another changeup. 2-1 now from Nabarro. And we even saw it yesterday in the ball game against the Conejo Oaks. Late pinch hitters that can be used. Now you have a much deeper bench. The position players were a little bit thin to start off the year. 1 on, 1 out. Here comes a 2-1 pitch. Runner goes. It's popped up. Maybe a chance for the catcher. Does he have enough room? Goes back behind the backstop and will make the catch in foul ground. McConney Nabarro straight up the elevator shaft. Is retired, and the runner will have to retreat. Ryan back to first base, now 2 down in the 5th. And Ryan had a great jump, and Nabarro just completely got under it. He's fouled out, and that's going to bring up Maddox Mandino back to the top of the order. 1 on, 2 down. Blues lead 2-0. We are in the top of the Finneys' 5th inning. Here comes the first pitch to Maddox. It's going to be a slider for a strike, 0-1. Maddox has gone 1 for 2 today. The first pitch that he saw from Featherston was a base hit in the right. After that, in 30, grounded out to second. Ryan remains at first, 2 down. Featherston from the center of the hill. 0-1 pitch to Mandino. Runner's going to take off. It was a late jump. The throw is going to be shallow and bounces past the shortstop. A collision, and now trying to get to third is Ryan. No throw to third base. So a stolen bag for Coleman Ryan. The shortstop, Diego Murillo, almost tumbled into second base trying to collect that ball and make a play. It skipped past him, and the second baseman was also trying to make a play at the bag into shallow center field. Both bodies, the second and shortstop, were on the ground, and that opened up a channel for Ryan to get to third. Likely go down as an E2 on the catcher. But a man now at third, 2 down, is now 1-1. Here's the pitch. 2-hopper over to Ardois at second base, and he's going to retire Mandino, and Maddox will ground out 4-3 for the second time in this game. The Sturs have another base runner with just 1 out. He is left stranded at third base, and through 4.5, Blues still on top, 2-0 over the Sturs.
During this time of record market highs and gradual economic recovery, it's essential you have someone you can trust. For 10 consecutive years, the Santa Barbara News Press Reader's Choice Poll has awarded Tremblay Financial Services recognition for the financial guidance they provide their clients. Tremblay Financial Advisors continually educate their clients with new options and financial planning tailored fit to you. For more information or an appointment, call 569-1982 or log on to tremblayfinancial.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Centaurus Financial Inc., member FINRA and SIPC, a registered investment advisor. AAA Financial Services and Centaurus Financial are not affiliated companies. Investing involves risk, including potential loss of principal. No investment strategy can guarantee a profit or protect against a loss in periods of declining values.
Bottom of the fifth inning. The fifth inning brought to us by our friends at Finney's Craft House. Finney's is a great place to gather before or after any Forester game. Finney's Craft House. Crodell not wasting any time. First pitch and a first pitch strike to Brendan Comerford. Chasing the slider away in the zone. Strike one. Bottom three schedule, Comerford, Caruso, Ardois. Already the 0-1 pitch. Another slider swing and a miss, and Comerford quickly behind 0-2. Blues lead 2-0, bottom of the fifth. And Crodell, the starter, has now tossed 67 pitches. Here's the 0-2, and the slider is down. Looked like our plate umpire might want to have a late strike call, but it is ball one. Comerford is 0 for 1, fly out to left. His second look at AJ. Crodell, already the 1-2 pitch, fastball is away, 2-2. And a little bit of a difference in Sinsheimer Park. The last couple games have been at 6 o'clock local time. This one has started at 4. 2-2 is a changeup and is chopped outside of third base. It remains 2-2. Caruso will be next, one of the two left-handed hitters. But right now the focus for Crodell, the right-hander Comerford, 2-2 pitch is fought off and just to the right of the press box and hits off right in front of the snack shack. Remains 2-2. This next pitch will be the 7th of the plate appearance. Here it comes, the 2-2. Slider popped up in a foul ground. The first baseman, Caden Miller, will camp out under it and makes the squeeze halfway to the first base dugout in foul territory. There's the first out in the fifth. Crodell is now retired 6 straight. At one point, he retired 7 straight between the first and the third. Just 2 knocks for the Blues. Just 3 base runners as a whole. They lead 2-0, bottom of 5. One away and the base is clear. Here's Charlie Caruso. The pitch, and the fastball nearly hits him on the right tricep. It's ball one. Caruso stands back in, and here's the 1-0 delivery. And it's going to be a changeup in there for a strike, 1-1. Crodell struggled to locate his fastball through the first 2 batters, then flipped a switch and struck out 3 straight in the first. Here's a 1-1. Big swing and miss. Another changeup from AJ. Strike 2. Has settled in exceptionally well after giving up an early run after just 2 batters. There was that funky play in the third, which plated the second run for the Blues. Now the 1-2 pitch to Caruso is a drive into center. It's high and going back is Mandino right towards the warning track, and that ball is off the base of the wall, ricochets towards right field, and going to third base is Caruso, and a standing triple for the catcher with 1 down in the fifth. That ball came down right at the junction between the warning track and the wall. It just needed a little bit more, and that ball would have been gone in right. And it ricocheted all the way back into right field. Mandino was trying to track it down like a receiver. And then that ball probably bounced and creamed back into right field. Probably 15 yards back into the yard. And now the umpiring crew is going to have a word right in front of the hill. Caruso cruised into third. I think he might have thought that ball was gone. And the crew is going to confirm that the runner is at third base, Dean Traynor. He's going to roll his way out of the first base dugout, the manager, and he's going to talk things over with the crew. And they're just confirming that that ball was indeed inside the yard. And the runner is at third. The manager still a lengthy conversation. Will retreat to the first base dugout. And there's a little bit more of some tension between him and the first base umpire. Some pointing back and forth. But both parties go back to their respective positions on the field. And the one-out base runner, Caruso, is at third. And Sam Ardois will now hit from the right side. Infield in. First pitch, swing and a miss on the slider, strike one. For Caruso, he entered today hitting under 100. 083 is his average. No extra base hits. And he's now at third after the triple. 0-1 pitch is located on the slider. Nothing in two. So Crodell again finding himself ahead in the count. And the infield will look to cut down the runner at third. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Sliders down and away. That is ball one. It is a 2-0 lead for the Blues. And they're looking to make it a 3-0 lead in the bottom of the fifth with the runner at third. Crodell, a close stance on the hill. Winds up the 1-2 pitch, and the slider's just tapped back into the screen behind the plate. Still 1 ball, 2 strikes. And the infield is, I should say the outfield playing a little bit shallow now as well. Just the runner at third. 1-2 pitch is fouled back. Looked like an high fastball from AJ. It remains 1-2. The Stars in the sixth will have 2, 3, and 4 scheduled. Crodell looking to go through 5. Still no one tossing for Santa Barbara down in their pen. 1-2 pitch is just going to miss low. The slider call could have gone either way, but it is ball 2. Ardois today, a ground out to second. Here comes the 2-2 pitch, is chopped to the third baseman, the shortstop rather. No play at home. They go to first base. They got him, but a run's going to come in to score. That ball was jacked into the infield, and that ball had some considerable hang time off the first bounce. It is now a 3-0 score. Ardois on the 6-3 ground out brings home the third run of the day for the Blues. 2 down in the inning, bases clear, but there was no chance. With the hang time, it was just well done from Coleman and Ryan to get the out at first. So a run in, 2 down, and here's E.J. Royal back to the top of the order. Here comes the pitch. Fastball high, ball 1. Crodell working quick with the 1-0 pitch. It is a slider in there for strike 1-1. So the Blues now, bottom of the fifth inning with 2 down, have a 3-0 lead. 1-0 pitch, slider on the outside corner for strike 2. Santa Barbara's going to need to find some offense. They've had base runners, just can't chain hits together. But now the 1-2 pitch, fastball is well down in the dirt. 2-2. Remember, the Stars got some momentum against the Blues, having a 10-3 victory on the 25th, 3 days back. Trying to level the series today. But now the 2-2 is rolled up the middle. Tough play for Ryan Coleman, who ranges to his left, but the throw was well in time at first base, and a smooth play from the shortstop, ranging behind second base to scoop up that baseball and retire the side. But Charlie Caruso, the standing triple brought home by Ardois, through 5. Blues now on top 3-0 over the Stars.
Lee & Sons Plumbing and Heating is proud to join the Foresters family of sponsors this season. I, Conan, a third-generation owner, was proud to coach for the Foresters for several seasons. Just like the Foresters are champs on the field, Lee & Sons are champs off it. We're experts in every type of plumbing and heating service and repair, from leaks and clogs to heaters and faucets. Strike out your plumbing problems by calling us at 805-965-9586. Lee & Sons, the champions of plumbing and heating. 805-965-9586. Stir it up.
Welcome back to San Luis Obispo, in the middle of California on a very beautiful afternoon. Breeze blowing out towards left field foul pole. First pitch was in the low 70s. Fantastic weather today as the Stars are trailing by 3. The Slow Blues have put one run up in every odd inning in the first, third, and fifth. One tally for the Blues as they amass a 3-0 lead for the over the Stars. Klepsch, Chamberlain, Dallimore, it's 2, 3, and 4 will be scheduled to face the starting pitcher for the third time. So the Slow Blue starter, Featherston, lines up the first pitch to Klepsch, and it's going to be in there for strike one. Masson today has gone 0 for 2. He lined into a double play and then ground out to short. So 0-1 to the leadoff man. And Featherston in his second start, 0-1 pitch, and it induces a chopper over to the second baseman. Goes in and out of his glove. He can't recover. The second baseman, Ardois, had it range into the hole on the right side of the infield. And that's going to allow Klepsch to reach. It's going to go down as an E4 on the second baseman. And the soon-to-be UC San Diego Triton aboard for the first time today. Leadoff man aboard via an error, and that's going to bring up Cole Chamberlain. Top of the sixth inning, Stars trail by 3. Chamberlain bats from the left side against the right-handed starter. First pitch is going to be in there on a changeup. Ball, strike one. Cole today's gone 0 for 1. He has worked a walk and a fly out to center. Digging in for the third time today. Klepsch at first. He's been stealing bases with frequency as of late. And check back over to him. He slides in head first and a big kick up of dust. Klepsch is now 6 for 6. He had 2 stolen bags yesterday, and the game before that he had 3. So the running game has been working well. Leadoff man aboard, and here comes the 0-1 pitch. There goes Klepsch. It's down for a ball, and no throw down from the catcher, and Klepsch has his 7th stolen bag of the year, and the Stars have a man in scoring position. Charlie Caruso just didn't have a clean transfer from the glove to the throwing hand. So Klepsch at second, nobody out. Stars down by 3. Here comes the 1-1 to Cole Chamberlain. Chopped outside of first. Strike 2. Dalmore next, and then Caden Miller. And pretty much all the way down the lineup card, it oscillates lefty, righty, all the way through. Just with the switch hitter far batting in the 7s hole. A lot of left-handed hitters. We say it a lot. Been following the Foresters this season. Chamberlain has to shorten up. Here comes the 1-2, and he fouls in, sprays it over the stands, and now the entire complex into the park behind where we're sitting remains 1-2. Can Santa Barbara punish the Blues after Klepsch reached on an error to start off this inning? Down by 3. Here comes the 1-2 pitch to Chamberlain, and he rolls it outside of first base. It remains 1-2. Chamberlain has fouled off the last couple. We'll now see the 6th pitch of this plate appearance from Ryan Featherston, who threw 66 pitches through 5. There is an arm up for the Blues down their right field bullpen. Fires home, the 1-2 pitch is through for a base hit in right field from second base. Klepsch is coming in, scooped up from Jordan in right, but it'll be an RBI single for Cole Chamberlain, and the Sturs are in and on the board in the 6th inning. Chamberlain continues to produce in those situations with runners on. An RBI single in that run batted in, brought to us by our friends at Gold's Gym. Gold's has a couple of locations in Santa Barbara where the Foresters train for victory. Gold's Gym. So the first 2 men reaching base in the 6th for the Sturs. They cut the Blues lead down to 2 runs, 3-1. The score. Here's Brady Dallimore, the pitch. Swing and just rolls it off the end of the bat. Foul for strike 1. It was a slider from Featherston. Chamberlain, with his 10th run batted in this summer, digs in at first base. He's got a couple stolen bags this season. Here comes an 0-1. Is a slider and a big swing and miss from Dallimore. Strike 2. Brady today, 1 for 2, a ground out to third, and a base hit into left. Chamberlain is at first, a run in, and nobody out. And here comes the 0-2 pitch, and the slider's in there, called strike 3. Dallimore goes down looking. 1 down in the 6th. And that is the first strikeout today by Ryan Featherston, who had 5 strikeouts in 5 innings in his first start with the Blues. And now with 1 down and a man at first base, Featherston looks for a ground ball as Caden Miller looks to put something in play, keep the line moving. Here's the pitch, and slider's down, ball 1. And with how Bill Pintard thinks, and Cole Chamberlain, 3 stolen bases on 3 attempts, wouldn't be surprised if Cole tries to take off here, get rid of that double play. If there's a ground ball. Here's a 1-0, and this is roped into right field. It's a base hit. Caden Miller, fantastic work. A 1-out knock. It's now 1st and 2nd, just 1 down in the 6th inning. And really kind of a carbon copy of Cole Chamberlain. Relatively hard hit ball in the right field. Falling for a base hit, and Chamberlain is second. Miller keeps the line moving, and here comes Dean Traynor out of the first base dugout. The Sturs have plated their first run of this ball game in this inning. 3-1, Blues on top. But the tying run now on base, and the batter will be Terrence Kill. And then it's a right-hander winding up, readying up in the bullpen. Jaden Turner loose for Dean Traynor in a pretty lengthy conversation with the manager and the entire infield. And it's going to remain with the starting pitcher from Oregon. Ryan Featherston has the confidence with his manager after 2 hits in the 6th inning. Here comes TK, bat from the right side. He will now dig in. At second, Chamberlain, Miller at first, and a chance for Santa Barbara. Possibly tie up this ball game. Only a single out. 3-1 the score. Here's the pitch. Slider is away. Ball 1. Terrence is a fly out to right and a fly out to center today. In case you're wondering, 3 runs batted in this year. Featherston winds up the 1-0 pitch. Fastball is on the ground left side. Maybe a chance for 2. Murillo goes to second. 2 out. And reaching on the fielder's choice is Terrence Kill. Ardois did not throw to first. So it's now going to be first and third. Chamberlain advances to third. Caden Miller, a force-out victim, at second. That was a great play from Diego Murillo. The shortstop diving to his right, getting the force out at second. And Terrence Kill aboard for the first time on a fielder's choice. Now that's now going to bring up the switch hitter Sawyer Farr to hit from the left side. 2 down, runners on the corners. Check to TK, and he was just about a step off of first base, but Featherston wanted to keep an eye on TK. Well, with 2 down the inning, infield back at double play depth. With 1 run in, 2-run ball game, Foresters trail. Comes the first pitch to Sawyer, and the changeup is away. Ball 1. Sawyer's been hit by a pitch. When he got on base, he stole a bag, then grounded out to first. First baseman is holding on to Terrence Kill, so a lot of real estate on the right side of the infield. 1-0 pitch. The changeup this time is located 1-1. First and third. 2 down. Ryan Featherston winds up the 1-1 pitch to Sawyer Farr. Longer hold this time. Here's the delivery. The slider's popped up into foul ground left side. Long run for the third baseman. And Cumberford will be called off by the left fielder. Raymond makes the play. And the side is retired. Running out of real estate right near the fence line. That ball is about to go out of play, but a good run from Raymond. The Sturs do get 1, but leave runners stranded on the corners. Through 5.5, Blues now lead 3-1 over Santa Barbara. Santa Barbara Airport has 5 airlines: American, Alaska, Delta Air, Southwest, and United, with 12 direct destinations from Santa Barbara to Atlanta, Dallas, Denver, Las Vegas, Oakland, Los Angeles, Salt Lake City, Portland, San Francisco, Phoenix, Seattle, and Sacramento. With 23 daily departures from Santa Barbara, SBA's newest daily service on Delta Airlines to Atlanta and Salt Lake City can ensure that you can get anywhere in the world in just 1 stop. SBA is proud to join over 200 airports around the world in the Hidden Disabilities Sunflower Program. Passengers with a disability can opt into the program, and in doing so, trained staff at SBA will be there to provide additional level of customer service. You can learn more at www.flysba.com. Once again, you can learn more and book your flights today from Santa Barbara at www.flysba.com.
When it comes to your office equipment needs, call Coastal Copy. We're the largest independent office equipment dealership in the Tri-Counties, and as your locally owned authorized Savin dealer, Coastal Copy offers complete sales, service, and supplies on a full line of Savin digital copiers and MFPs, Savin color printers, digital duplicators, Savin wide format systems, digital presses, document management solutions, and more. That's Coastal Copy.
You'll see a difference because we go the distance.
Call 1-800-995-8835.
On to the bottom of the 6th inning, Santa Barbara have tacked on a run. Their first run coming in the top half of this inning. But there will be a new change and a new arm entering for the Sturs. Andrew Gardino will now pitch for Santa Barbara after A.J. Crodell going 5. 3 hits, 3 runs, 2 of which were earned. He walked 1 and struck out 7. But Crodell on the hook with the Sturs trailing by 2. Gardino, it's going to be his first appearance since the 18th. So 10 days ago was the last time Gardino took the hill. Now is the game when the Foresters ended up walking off Orange County by Terrence Kill. Gardino came in when the Sturs just gave up 5 runs in the top half of the 9th, and Gardino faced 2 and recorded 2 big outs to lock it down. And if you're looking at the stats for Andrew, I'll say he's only pitched in 1 game. He also played and pitched over 2 innings in the Arroyo Seco game that was postponed, which will be played on July 5th. I should say it will be finished up. So officially he has pitched in 1 game, unofficially in 2, and we'll go with officially playing in his 3rd game today. He's going to face 2, 3, and 4 Murillo, Jordan, and Tollerman, all right-handed batters against the right-handed reliever. And here comes the first pitch from Gardino. And the heater's on the outside edge, 0-1. Murillo today's gone 1 for 2, RBI double and a strikeout. Infield straight away, as is the outfield. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Slider's in there, 0-2. So a fastball and then a slider. Good change in velocity from Gardino. And this was the plan today for the Santa Barbara Foresters. Gardino first man out. Here comes the 0-2 pitch as a slider swing and a miss, rather the high fastball. 3 pitches, and Murillo retired 1 away in the 6th. And that is the 8th strikeout today by Santa Barbara pitching, first of which for Gardino. That's going to bring up Donovan Jordan, who has struck out twice today, both of which looking against A.J. Crodell. 1 away and the base is clear. Here comes the first pitch. And that's going to be in there for strike 1. Good slider from Gardino. Tollerman next for the Blues, who lead 3-1 over Santa Barbara. Comes the 0-1 pitch, and that's going to be in there on a slider, just clipping the inside edge for strike 2. Gardino not wasting any time. 1 down, the base is clear. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss on the fastball. Back-to-back Ks for Gardino. Back-to-back strikeouts for Andrew. And that's going to bring up Zach Tollerman. 6 pitches, 6 strikes for Andrew. Blues leading 3-1. Here comes the first pitch to Tollerman. It's going to be in there on a slider, strike 1. Gardino struck out the first 2 men he has faced. Here comes the 0-1 Tollerman. And chopped it outside of third base, strike 2. Gardino takes a moment behind the hill. Tollerman takes a moment, stands back in. 2 down. And Andrew Gardino from the first base side of the hill winds up an 0-2 pitch to Zach Tollerman. And that is just missing away. That is ball 1. That call could have gone either way. And that was one borderline call from an immaculate inning for Andrew Gardino. And now a 1-2 pitch. This time strikes him out, goes down looking, and the entire infield on the 9th pitch thought that was called strike 3. Gardino, in fantastic spirits still, nearly had an immaculate inning, but strikes out the side. Half the press box thought Gardino just got robbed, but he strikes out the side in his first appearance in 10 days, and we are on to the 7th. Blues on top 3-1 over the Sturs. Now on to the 7th inning. Blues maintain a 3-1 advantage over Santa Barbara. But let's just recap the 6th inning. Andrew Gardino just took over for A.J. Crodell. 8 strikes on his first 8 pitches. And on the 9th pitch, with Tollerman down in the count, 0-2, a slider which just could have been on the outside edge, could have been just away, was called a ball in a near immaculate inning from Andrew Gardino. And let's not forget, Frank Camarillo last Sunday had an immaculate inning. And who was it against? It was against the Blues. And the odds of having an immaculate inning in a stretch of 7 days, you tell me how 1 in a million that is. But the first pitch now missing away to Coleman Ryan. It's going to be Ryan Navarro Mandino with a new arm entering Jaden Turner, the right-handed reliever for the Blues. Here comes a 1-0, and sprayed over the first base dugout, out of play, 1-1. And you saw the entire infield and outfield after that last pitch released by Gardino, I should say the 9th pitch. They all thought they had another immaculate inning, but he instead had to finish striking out the side on 10 pitches. Here comes a 1-1. Coleman Ryan will take a slider, 0-2. And we said at the end of the inning, Gardino hasn't pitched since the 18th. Just his 3rd appearance, and he just mowed through the 2, 3, and 4 batters for the Blues. It's now ball and 2 strikes to Coleman Ryan. Here comes the pitch, and it's going to miss high for ball 2. Ryan today, he's gone 1 for 2. Had a base hit last time he stood in, and also has a line out into left. Jaden Turner, the 2-2 pitch, and it's over the head of Ryan. He had a duck underneath it on the curveball, and that is ball 3. The Stars played their first run of the ball game in the last inning. Now in the top of the 7th, down by 2. Here comes a payoff pitch to the leadoff batter as Ryan will reach for it and spray it down the right field line. Stays in the yard, but well foul. Ryan's going to dig back in. Jaden Turner working from the first base side of the hill. Another 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss on the high fastball. 1 down in the 7th. Ryan retired. And for the SLO's pitcher, Ryan Featherston started off this game. He'll be in line for the win. Quality start for the right-hander, going 6-5 hits, 1 run which was not earned. He walked 1 and struck out 1. With 1 away and the base is clear, first pitch to Navarro lays off a high fastball, ball 1. McConaughey today in his first game since the 21st. It's gone 0 for 2 so far, fly out to center and fouled out to the catcher. Here comes the 1-0 to Navarro. Takes a slider down for ball 2. And McConaughey, part of the reason why he hasn't seen as much, he was nursing a lower body injury. We said last time he played. Here comes a 2-0. It's a drive and a shot into the gap. Long run for the center fielder, but he can't get there. And Navarro is aboard. A 1-out knock. He's aboard for the first time today. He's going to stay put at first. Well done from McConaughey at the 9 spot. Turn the lineup over. Give way to Mandino, the 1-out base runner. Mandino will stand in for the 4th time. He is gone 1 for 3. Base hit off the first pitch of the ball game into right, then 2 groundouts to second. Third baseman is pinching in. It's Comerford. And here comes the first pitch to Mandino. The left-handed batter takes a slider in the dirt. Ball 1. Navarro has not attempted a stolen bag this season. He does take a big lead at first base. 1 down, the infield straightaway, except that third baseman pinched in. 1-0 pitch is down. Great cover from Caruso. Runner holds. The slider missing from Jaden Turner. So Mandino takes a moment as he's ahead in the count 2-0. We are in the top of the 7th, and a check over Navarro. He was nearly caught sleeping. Almost a belly flop move to get back to first base, and a plume of dust kicks up as Tollerman holds on to him, but McConney back and crouched out in front of first base, inching his way away, ready to take off at a moment's notice. And another check to McConney. He's in head first. Oh, Santa Barbara down by 2 runs. Of course, a 2-run lead, not the largest in any sport. There goes Nabarro. It was a good jump. The throws outside, and McConney is in safely to second. First stolen bag of the year for Nabarro. Good base run. He got a nice jump off the pitcher Turner. And Mandino is also now ahead 3-0. Turner looks to fire a strike, the Slow Blues reliever. Mandino's ahead 3-0. Tying run at the plate, top of the 7th. 3-0 pitch, and Mandino will take a strike. Mandino dropped the bat off the shoulder, didn't necessarily out of the hands, but was going to take all the way, and the slider found the outside edge of the zone from Turner. But now the reliever back in the count. 3-1 pitch is down the left field line, slicing into the Foresters bullpen. There's a man tossing for the Foresters, or at least warming up. And then Sam Stevens getting ready for the Foresters, but after Gardino had a near immaculate inning on 10 pitches, see if he goes back out there. Man at second, 1 down. 3-2 pitch to Maddox as Mandino sends it the other way into left for a base hit. From second, Nabarro will hold at third, and runners on the corners. 1 down in the 7th, and the Sturs in business. Back-to-back hits given up by Jaden Turner. Mandino using all fields today. 1 his 2 singles. And now arm up for the Blues, getting ready. Tying run now on base. Brings a go-ahead run to the plate in the form of Addison Klepsch, who has scored the lone run of the day for the Foresters, who trail by 2. First pitch is a slider for a strike. Klepsch turned away from it, but late action bent its way into the zone. Now time being called, and here comes Dean Traynor at the first base dugout. Klepsch today is lined into a double play, ground out to short. Did reach on an error, had a stolen base, and was brought home by Cole Chamberlain on an RBI single. And if Santa Barbara can at least get 1 run, sacrifice play in play here as Klepsch gets some instruction from Bill Pintard, who's currently talking with Steve Schuck right at third base. So the head coach and the associate head coach right next to the base runner at third, which is McConney Nabarro. They've got the tying run on base, Mandino, who's one of the best runners on this team. And Klepsch, who has been seeing the baseball well entering today's game. So a lot of strategy for both these teams on what you drop for Klepsch at the plate, and you see Bill Pintard a few signals over to Mandino at first as Maddox wipes down some of the dusty dirt in front of first base. Give himself some good traction if he's going to take off. It is 0-1 to Klepsch as Turner remains in this game, the conference complete. Here comes the pitch. There goes Mandino, and the throw down to second is going to hop high. The runner at third. There's a play at third base. Did they get him on the back pick? No. The Blues fans thought they just picked off Nabarro at third base after inducing the throw to second. So Mandino gets a stolen bag. Good play from Ardois to throw over to third, and here comes Dean Traynor. It was very close down at third base, and most of the stadium thought McConney was picked off at third. But now 2 in scoring position for Santa Barbara with only a single out, and that eliminates a ground ball double play. And a huge opportunity for Klepsch, and if not him, Cole Chamberlain, as the manager for the Blues has to be ushered back into the dugout, and now the crew will confer down the first baseline. And you likely heard the moans from the Blues fans as it was quite close. And we'll see what this umpiring crew will decide. Again, it is a three-man crew, so one of the third base, quote-unquote, umpire was shifted over into the middle of the infield. So it's not a clear and direct look at third base, and that just comes with having a three-man crew, and they confer safe at third base. Second and third for Santa Barbara. Tying run now in scoring position. Only a single out in the seventh. Infield in. Turner steps off and working from the first base side of the hill. It's 1-1. Here's the pitch to Klepsch. Is a slider, but he went around. It was a check swing. Couldn't lay off of it. 1-2. With this infield in, trying to cut down any play at the plate. You can just pop something, float something into center field. 1-2 pitch is a slider just off the end of the bat. Rolls towards the first base on deck circle. And remember, Cole Chamberlain is next. Was already brought home a run today. At third is Nabarro. Mandino just still second. Is at the second station. 3-1, the Blues lead. Stars have a chance in the seventh. 1-2 pitch is a called strike three on a slider. Klepsch can't believe it. A few words to the plate umpire. Shakes his head back to the third base dugout. 2 down in the seventh. That's a huge second out for the Blues as the infield will now move back as they were playing in, and it's now going to be Cole Chamberlain who was responsible for bringing in the first run of the day. Mandino is at second, Nabarro is at third after back-to-back singles, but now 2 down in the seventh. Here's the pitch, and the changeup will miss away, ball 1. These teams playing 7 times throughout this year. They're playing game 4 here this afternoon. Blues leading the season series 2-1. And the Stars against the rivals trying to tie the game right here with a base hit. 1-0 pitch is a fastball on the inside edge. 1-1. Chamberlain kind of moved his hands up like it was going to come in and hit him, but takes a strike. Should he reach somehow with first base open, Dallimore would be next for the Stars. Jaden Turner winds up the 1-1 pitch. Check swing, but he went around. Couldn't lay off the slider. There's now Cole. Refixes the helmet. We'll dig in a huge spot and opportunity for Santa Barbara. They look for a timely hit. Down by 2 runs, 2 in scoring position. With 2 retired, the 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss. On the off-speed, Chamberlain goes down swinging, and the Stars leave 2 in scoring position. And Turner K's 2 to finish off the 7th, and on to stretch time here at Sinsheimer Park. Santa Barbara trail by 2 to the Blues.
During this time of record market highs and gradual economic recovery, it's essential you have someone you can trust. For 10 consecutive years, the Santa Barbara News Press Reader's Choice Poll has awarded Tremblay Financial Services recognition for the financial guidance they provide their clients. Tremblay Financial Advisors continually educate their clients with new options and financial planning tailored fit to you. For more information or an appointment, call 569-1982 or log on to tremblayfinancial.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Centaurus Financial Inc., member FINRA and SIPC, a registered investment advisor. Tremblay Financial Services and Centaurus Financial are not affiliated companies. Investing involves risk, including potential loss of principal. No investment strategy can guarantee a profit or protect against a loss in periods of declining values.
Bottom of the 7th inning, the SLO Blues maintain a 3-1 advantage over the Santa Barbara Foresters. Andrew Gardino remains on the hill. He missed the last inning, a near an immaculate inning. 8 pitches, 8 strikes, and then on the 9th pitch, call that could have gone either way on a slider that looked like it might have painted the edge against Zach Tollerman, was called the ball, but then retired the number 4 batter on the next pitch. He will face 5, 6, and 7 with his team down by 2 runs. So here is Raymond to bat from the left side. 0 for 2 today, a strikeout and a flyout, both of which were against A.J. Crodell. Here comes the pitch, and the fastball will miss inside for ball 1. Crodell currently on the hook with the Sturs trailing by 2 runs. That was a very solid performance from A.J. Just a couple odd runs being scored by the Blues. Here's a 1-0. Chopped up the middle. Coleman Ryan just has to range over to his left. The throw is high and over first base. That throw well high and continued to rise. It looked like Caden Miller might have a chance to climb the ladder, but that ball well overhead. And the leadoff man aboard via an E6. So Raymond to reach for the first time today. And both teams now have 2 errors on the board. And you're looking at the scoreboard, just 3 hits for the Blues, but 7 for Santa Barbara, yet the Sturs are +4 in the hit column, yet -2 the more important run column. So leadoff man aboard. The batter is now Gavin Smith to hit from the right side. Here's the pitch. It is a slider for a strike, 0-1. The DH is ground out to short and struck out looking. Gardino glares over at first, the right-handed reliever. With a longer hold, the 0-1 pitch is another slider up the middle, maybe a chance for 2. Ryan to second base and on to first to turn a double play, a 6-3 DP. And Ryan makes amends for the throwing error. Raymond retired and now 2 down in the 7th. And that's always a good feeling. You make an error, but able to turn the double play to erase the man who reached on the E6. So base is clear, 2 down. Blues lead 3-1, bottom of 7. Here comes the first pitch to Brendan Comerford. Fastball is down in the dirt, ball 1. Brendan has gone 0 for 2. Fly out to left and a foul out to the first baseman. 2 down. Here comes a 1-0 pitch from Gardino. It's going to miss high and almost over the head on a slider that did not slide from the right-hand reliever. This is ball 2. And we were told today that after Gardino, it'd either be Sam Stevens or Tag Andrews. Maybe in the 8th inning. Here's a 2-0. And it's a fastball high for ball 3. And on the back end, more of a closed situation. Steele Eves and Ethan O'Neill available. You could also even ride Gardino, just get us out of this inning clean. But he's behind 3-0. Here's the pitch. That misses high for ball 4. So 4-pitch, 2-out walk for Brendan Comerford. He's aboard for the first time today. And that's going to bring up the catcher, Charlie Caruso. For the cause for the Blues, at least one more run. So you get a base runner in the last 2 innings in Santa Barbara, you bring the tying run to the plate. And Gardino's job, not allow a run to come in to score here in the bottom of 7. 3-1 Blues. Here comes the pitch, and the fastball's down, so 5 straight balls from Gardino. And he's facing Charlie Caruso, who's feeling it after a near home run into right. A triple that fell right at the base of the wall, went into third base standing. Here comes a 1-0 now to Caruso. It's going to miss upstairs for ball 2. 6 straight balls for Gardino. After the leadoff man reached on an error, deuced a ground ball to turn 2. As Andrew takes a moment, strolls towards second base on the back edge of the hill. As he re-engages from the first base side of the pitcher's rubber. And at first, 2 down. Here comes the 2-0 pitch to Caruso, and that fastball is located in the upper portion of the zone. 2-1. Remember, just 3 hits today for the Blues, but 7 for the Stars, and yet Blues lead by 2 runs. Here comes a 2-1 pitch to the number 8 batter, and it's foul back off the mask of Chamberlain. 2-2. All 3 runs came around on the watch of Crodell, 2 of which were earned. 1 came in the first, there was 1 in the third, 1 in the fifth. The 1 in the third was unearned. Man at first inches off its Cumberford, and 1 still on base this year, but with 2 down, here comes the 2-2 pitch. Over on 1, 3 hops to the second baseman. Sawyer Farr covers it up and over to first to retire the side. Andrew Gardino works around an error and a walk, just has to face 4. Through 7, Blues on top, 3-1 over the Stars. Santa Barbara Airport has 5 airlines: American, Alaska, Delta Air, Southwest, and United, with 12 direct destinations from Santa Barbara to Atlanta, Dallas, Denver, Las Vegas, Oakland, Los Angeles, Salt Lake City, Portland, San Francisco, Phoenix, Seattle, and Sacramento. With 23 daily departures from Santa Barbara, SBA's newest daily service on Delta Airlines to Atlanta and Salt Lake City can ensure that you can get anywhere in the world in just 1 stop. SBA is proud to join over 200 airports around the world in the Hidden Disabilities Sunflower Program. Passengers with a disability can opt into the program, and in doing so, trained staff at SBA will be there to provide additional level of customer service. You can learn more at www.flysba.com. Once again, you can learn more and book your flights today from Santa Barbara at www.flysba.com. On to the 8th inning, the Stars trail by 2 runs to their rivals, the SLO Blues. The pitch remains Jaden Turner after he gave up back-to-back singles, but ended up striking out 3 in the 7th. Santa Barbara in this inning will have scheduled Dallimore, Miller, and Terrence Kill, but it looks like there'll be a pinch hitter. Dallimore bats from the right side, and Bill Pintard's going to bring in Brenton Clark to hit from the left side against the lefty reliever. So Brenton Clark to hit for the first time today. And remember, it is the DH spot that he will take over in, now batting 4th. So it's going to be Clark, Miller, Kill. Stars trail by 2. Here comes the first pitch. Right down the middle on a fastball, 0-1. Stars trying to level the season series against the Blues and also against the Conejo Oaks, currently just ahead by half a game over the team from the south. Here's the 0-1. That is down and away, 1-1. These 2 teams will play again tomorrow, 2 o'clock first pitch at Santa Barbara High School. Now the 1-1 delivery to Clark. He reaches for it, and that ball's going the other way into left field for a base hit. Clark continues to go the other way, and a leadoff single for Santa Barbara, and a pinch hit single, no less, for Brenton Clark. That's going to bring up Caden Miller, another left-handed hitter. It was gone 1 for 2 today, along with a walk. So Clark, fantastic job pinch hitting for a single to bring the tying run to the plate, top of the 8th. Here's the first pitch. It's a slider for a strike, 0-1. The advantages of having such a deep bench, and Bill Pintard, I should say, wasn't able to do that a couple weeks ago. Pretty light on the position players, but you have a lot of lefty bats and even right-handed bats. As a check over to Clark, he scampers in, standing, no problem. And with the lefty-dominant lineup, you have a right-handed pitcher, or you bring in a left-handed pitcher for the lefties in the lineup. Even got Sawyer Farr, as we saw yesterday, be able to pinch hit. So deep bench for Bill Pintard. Here comes the 0-1 and a big swing and miss for Caden Miller underneath the off-speed. 0-2. To follow Miller will be Kill. Tying run at the plate. Blues lead 3-1 in the 8th. Check over to first base. It was a good pickoff move as Clark was slowly easing his way off of first base, but he's back in standing. In case you're wondering, in the 8th inning, 9-1-2 will be scheduled for the Blues. Here comes an 0-2 pitch to Caden Miller, and that slider's just down. Fantastic take by Caden, the first baseman for Santa Barbara. 1-2. Clark inches off of first base, held on by Tollerman. The third baseman, Cumberford, is playing in. 1-2 delivery is down. It's fumbled a little bit. Clark's going to take off, and the throw is high. Not even close. Ardois, the second baseman, was backing up the shortstop who was intended to receive that throw, and the second baseman caught that ball probably 10 paces behind second base to not allow it to go into center field. So Clark, a pinch hit single, and now a stolen base. And it is now 2-2 the count for Caden Miller. Here's the delivery. It's popped up into shallow left. Raymond slides over. The left fielder makes the squeeze. Clark holds. 1 down in the 8th. Miller retired, and that's going to bring up Terrence Kill. Hit from the right side. He's 0 for 3 today. Fly out to right, fly out to center. Did reach on the fielder's choice. But with a man at second, just 1 down. Santa Barbara, if they can at least get 1 run here and make it a 1-run ball game into the 9th. Here's the pitch from Turner. It's a slider. It's a good one for a strike. And we did see Sam Stevens when we look forward to the bottom of the inning warming up. Will we see him? Tag Andrews is currently in the press box, so you can scratch him off the list who might pitch. Here's 0-1. Fastball swinging to miss. That ball is in and out of the glove. Runner holds as the catcher Caruso is able to collect it no problem. And he will go out to the hill to talk with the pitcher. You can keep Gardino, who did look like he lost a little bit of the command after the near immaculate inning. He threw 6 straight balls, but was able to take care of business working around a leadoff error. Also O'Neill and Eves, but no one currently tossing. Actually, 1 man is now up for Santa Barbara in their bullpen. Now the 0-2 pitch. It's a slider. Did TK go around? No, he did not. The catcher is now pleading the case of the plate umpire. He put the tag on TK for a drop third strike, and now Dean Traynor furious. The home plate umpire is putting up the stop sign saying no more, and Trainor's going to have to be careful here. Plate umpire still showing the stop sign saying you need to go back. And if Dean Trainor's now right up in front of the plate umpire, he's probably got a pretty short leash here, and both parties will go back to their positions. Traynor also now having a word with the base umpire, and probably not the most friendly words being shouted across the diamond on a play that looked like TK did go around, but it was ball 1. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. It's on the ground left side. It's through for a base hit from second base. Clark's going to go to third, and runners are going to be on the corners. And Terrence Kill takes advantage on that check swing. Could have probably gone either way. A base hit into left to put runners on the corners, and that's going to bring the go-ahead run to the plate in the form of Sawyer Farr. Farr's hitting from the left side, the switch hitter against the righty, Jaden Turner. Clark's at third, Kill at first, tying run on base. Here's the delivery, and the slider's in there for a strike, 0-1. and with just a single out in the infield playing at double play depth, TK's gone 6 for 8 stolen bases in attempts this season. You try to send him to second to eliminate any ground ball double play. Here comes the 0-1. It's a slider rolled over to second base, softly hit, and they're just going to flip to first base to get the out. A run will come in. Clark from third plates the second run of the day. No chance at a double play on the soft hit ground ball. Sawyer will ground out 4-3, brings home a run. He is retired for the second out, and Terrence Kill advances to second on the ground out, so it is now a 3-2 Blues lead. And the Sturs have made it a 1-run deficit. The batter is now Coleman Ryan. Here's the pitch. Slider is high for ball 1. Ryan's gone 1 for 3. Out to left, base hit and a right and strikeout. And Jaden Turner now facing Coleman Ryan for the second time. He led off in the 7th, and that was the first man that Turner faced. So Ryan gets his second look at the relief pitcher. Here's a 1-0. Slider away, ball 2. 1-run ball game, top of the 8th. And Terrence Kill, depending on how this game ends, especially for the Blues fans and the Blues coaching staff, that check swing from Terrence Kill could have struck out, but ends up with a base hit to keep the line moving, to bring up Sawyer Farr instead of having 2 out. Just a single out on the ground out was good enough to bring home a run. And by the way, that was the 15th run batted in this season for Sawyer Farr. So with 2 down, Kill at second with a run in. 2-0 pitch, and that slider will miss down for ball 3. To follow Ryan will be Makani Nabarro. Rather, it's going to be a pinch hitter sitting on deck. Easton Mumau is scheduled to hit next. Here comes a 3-0 pitch, and that slider is going to clip the edge of the zone. Coleman Ryan thought that was ball 4, and as did Easton Mumau, who trudged his way to the plate, but we'll have to go back, and as it was, strike 1. That second is Kill. 2 down. 1-run game. 3-1 pitch is popped up and back to the press box. Probably on top of the press box. Full count. And if Ryan's able to get on base, Mumau, one of the best hitters, best on-base percentages in this lineup for Santa Barbara. Go ahead run at the plate, tying run at second. Top of the 8th inning. Turner looks to second. The reliever fires home the 3-2 pitch. On the ground, up the middle. Tough play for the shortstop. It's through for a base hit. Terrence Kill from second base is going to score, and we are tied at 3. Coleman Ryan, RBI single. Tied game in the 8th. Back-to-back runs batted in for the Santa Barbara Foresters, and there's going to be a pitching change. Dean Trainer's going to the bullpen. We have ourselves a brand new game. Tied at 3, 2 down, and Coleman Ryan at first base, with Easton Mumau coming to the plate.
Lee & Sons Plumbing and Heating is proud to join the Foresters family of sponsors this season. I, Conan, a third-generation owner, was proud to coach for the Foresters for several seasons. Just like the Foresters are champs on the field, Lee & Sons are champs off it. We're experts in every type of plumbing and heating service and repair, from leaks and clogs to heaters and faucets. Strike out your plumbing problems by calling us at 805-965-9586. Lee & Sons, the champions of plumbing and heating. 805-965-9586. Stir it up.
And the top of the 8th inning, Santa Barbara has now plated 2 runs in this frame to tie us at 3 against their rivals, the SLO Blues. The new arm is Spencer Gallimore. He'll take over for Jaden Turner, who went an inning and 2/3, gave up 5 hits, responsible for the man at first base, walked nobody and struck out 1. And as we said before the break, pinch hitting for Makani Nabarro is Easton Mumont to hit from the left side against the right-handed reliever, Spencer Gallimore. Go-ahead run now on base in the form of Coleman Ryan, who is one of the better runners on this team. He already has a stolen base today. In a short time as Santa Barbara, already's got 3 stolen bags on 4 attempts. So Mumont to hit out of the 9 spot. Tied game, and the Sturs are now +7 in the hit column. And we are tied at 3. 10 knocks for the Sturs, just 3 for the Blues. Here comes the first pitch as Easton fouls it back directly behind home plate. Big swing from 23, strike 1. And remember, the Blues have 9, 1, and 2 scheduled in the bottom of the 8th. Inching off of first base is Coleman Ryan. 2 down the top half of the 8th inning. Gallimore from the first base side of the hill. The 0-1 pitch, changeup away, 1-1. Easton Mumont got the day off today. We saw Aston Klepsch get the start at third base, and like we'll see Klepsch and Mumont flip-flop, and Klepsch will go out to left. But here's the 1-1. It is a slider just missing away, ball 2. And Gallimore's had a very nice year with the SLO Blues. He comes into this situation with the go-ahead run on base. And Easton Mumont, one of the best on the Foresters lineup, producing hits and getting on base. 2-1 is inside a fastball for ball 3. Gallimore this season, ERA of 1.69 in 10 2/3. Now pitching in his 5th contest. There goes the runner, and the ball is fouled back. It's now 2-2 on the slider from Mumont. So going back to first base is Coleman Ryan after the ball is fouled back into the screen behind the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes. We've already seen a pinch hit, base hit today in this inning. Brenton Clark did it. Scored the 2nd run of the day. We're now tied at 3. 2 down. Check over to the man at first base, and rather the count is now full for Easton Mumont. So it's 3-2. Mandino will be next. Here comes the payoff pitch. It's fouled up and down the left field line. Maybe a chance for the third baseman, but it will go 3 rows deep, just beyond the reach of Brendan Comerford, and Easton Mumont stays alive. And this will now be the 7th pitch of the plate appearance coming up to Easton. Back to first base goes Ryan. Mumont bats from the left side against the right-hand reliever Gallimore. Another 3-2 pitch, change up away, and a 2-out walk for Easton Mumont. He is aboard. 1st and 2nd, 2 down in the 8th. And Mumont has had an on-base percentage of over .500 this season. Just got a little bit better. That's going to bring up Mandino, who's gone 2 for 4 today. We have seen a couple runs batted in this inning. Those RBI brought to us by our friends at Gold's Gym. A couple locations in the Santa Barbara area where the Foresters train to win. Gold's Gym. Ryan at second, representing the go-ahead run. Mumont at first. Mandino, another left-handed batter, as Gallimore will fire home as the slider's in there for a strike, 0-1. Maddox has brought home 9 runs this season. Can Santa Barbara take the lead with a base hit? Ryan's a great runner, representing the go-ahead run. Gallimore shakes off a couple from Caruso. Looks to second. The 0-1 delivery nearly hits Maddox, fastball high and in, 1-1. First and second, tied game in the top of the 8th. And Charlie Brother Spencer Gallimore looks back to second. Throw the 1-1 to Mandino, sprays over the third base dugout, out a play for strike 2. In this inning alone, the Stars have had 3 hits. That's exactly what the Blues have, 3 hits today throughout the entire ball game. Both teams do have 2 errors costing both sides. First and second, 2 down, 1-2 pitch. Changeup is away. What a take from Mandino. A gutsy take. You can hear the murmurs from the Blues fans there. Still a pretty nice crowd. It has thinned out a little bit since the earlier innings. But it's 2-2. 2-2 pitch to Maddox. Another changeup missing away. Count is now full. Everybody's going to be on the move. Muma at first. Coleman Ryan at second. 2 down with 2 runs in the 8th inning. Tied game at 3. Next batter would be Klepsch. Payoff pitch. Mandino strikes out, chasing high in the zone, swinging a miss, and Gallimore gets out of the jam to keep it a tied game. Don't go anywhere. Bottom of the 8th. We'll see who goes out to the hill. Tied at 3 in San Luis Obispo between the Stars and the Blues.
It's out of here. It's tough to tell whether that's another Forester's home run or one of the many flights going out of the Santa Barbara airport. With 22 daily departures and 11 direct destinations, including Chicago, Dallas, Las Vegas, San Diego, and Seattle, there's no need to drive and fly when you can take off local at the Santa Barbara airport. Prepare for a departure from the usual travel experience. Choose SBA and depart differently. A proud partner of the Santa Barbara Foresters.
When it comes to your office equipment needs, call Coastal Copy. We're the largest independent office equipment dealership in the Tri-Counties, and as your locally owned authorized Savin dealer, Coastal Copy offers complete sales, service, and supplies on a full line of Savin digital copiers and MFPs, Savin color printers, digital duplicators, Savin wide format systems, digital presses, document management solutions, and more. That's Coastal Copy.
You'll see a difference because we go the distance.
Call 1-800-995-8835.
Bottom of the 8th inning, and a couple changes for Santa Barbara after Easton Muma pinch hit. He will move into his typical position at third. Klepsch, who was at third, will shift to second. And Sawyer Farr, who started this ball game at second, will go out to left, where Makani Navarro initially started. And he was pinch hit for with Easton Muma in the 9 spot. So those are the defensive changes. And Andrew Gardino, who took over in the 6th inning, remains in this ball game to face 9-1-2. Tied ball game after Sturs put up 2 runs top half of this frame. Here comes the first pitch to Ardois. It's going to be a slider for a strike, 0-1. Ardois today has gone 0 for 2. Pair of groundouts, but did bring home a run in the 5th on a ground out to short. Here comes an 0-1 pitch. And another slider, front doors its way into the right-handed batter, 0-2. Sturs will want to get the bats right back out there after 3 hits and a walk top half of this inning. Gardino's in a good spot. Will wind up an 0-2 pitch to the leadoff man, Ardois. Here's a delivery, fastball high, ball 1. And Gardino's in that low 90s mark with his heater. Big discrepancy on that slider to the velo, then that fastball that missed high and in. And here comes a 1-2 pitch to Ardois, and the fastball is lined right on top of the first base dugout, where the Blues are housed. 1-2. Shadows are getting a little bit longer, approaching 6:30 local time. First pitch was right after 4 o'clock local time. And Gardino, who's been in this game since the 6th, delivers the 1-2 pitch. Fastball down, 2-2. After Ardois will be Royal, and then Murillo. If anyone gets on, it'll be Donovan Jordan for the SLO Blues. Tied at 3. Here comes the 2-2 to the leadoff man. Fastball is off one hop to the shortstop. Coleman right and ranged over to his left. Throw on target in time. Ardois down on the 6-3 ground out. There have been 2 men to reach base today against Andrew. There's a leadoff error in the 7th, and then a 4-pitch walk with 2 down in that very same inning. And if you're just joining us late, Gardino had a near immaculate inning in the 6th. First 8 pitches, strikes. And on the 9th pitch to Zach Tollerman, a slider which likely could have gone either way, was called a ball, then struck him out on the very same pitch to retire the side on 10 pitches. Now Dean Traynor out of the first base dugout having another long chat with our plate umpire. And you can tell Traynor, with whatever he is expressing his dissatisfaction with, not too happy with his arms crossed. He's already been addressed a warning with the plate umpire saying, go back to your dugout on the check swing to Terrence Kill in the last inning, which could cost the Blues this game, and the conversation still ensues. Might have been on the strike zone, and still Dean Traynor getting a little bit more animated now just to the right of the plate. And now he says a few words to the first base umpire, and we'll go back to the first base dugout. And a day where the SLO Blues manager has not been thrilled with the officiating. He's going back out to talk with the first base umpire. And at this point, with already the warnings, and he's got to be on a quite short leash from staying in this game. And still looking back, the first base umpires, he will now enter the first base dugout door. So in the bottom of the 8th, tied game. The SLO Blues have the bases clear. 1 down, Andrew Gardino for the Sturs will now face the top of the order. E.J. Royal, here's the pitch. Swing and a miss on the fastball, way in the zone. Strike 1. E.J. Royal is 1 for 2. A walk, a base hit, and a ground out to short. He has scored 2 of the 3 runs today. Here's an 0-1. Nice slider in for a strike, 0-2. Gardino now facing the 9th batter in relief. Took over in the 6th. 0-2 pitch, swing, and chopped over to the third baseman. Muma on a nice pick right at ground level. Throw in time, and Easton just got put in at third base, not missing a beat. Royal is retired, 2 down in the 8th. And Gardino gives a affirming pat to Gardino as they transferred the baseball back to the pitcher, saying, good play, buddy. Nice one. That's going to bring up Diego Murillo, who was the first man that Gardino faced back in the 6th. Tied game, bottom of the 8th, 2 down, the bases clear, and the SLO Blues shortstop to hit for the 4th time today. Here comes the pitch from Gardino. Swing and a miss on the fastball. Strike 1. Murillo is 1 for 3. RBI double in the 1st and is K'd twice. Here comes the strike 1 pitch. It's sprayed over the first base dugout and into the Little League field to our right, where it looks like there's a game going on. 0-2. Gardino struck out the side in the 6th in the near immaculate inning. There's been 10 strikeouts by Santa Barbara pitching today. Gardino with 2 down. Winds up the 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss on the high fastball. Make it 11 today for Santa Barbara pitching. 4th of which for Gardino. And a 3-up, 3-down 8th. On to the 9th frame. Tied at 3. The Sturs have Klepsch, Chamberlain, Clerk coming up next.
During this time of record market highs and gradual economic recovery, it's essential you have someone you can trust. For 10 consecutive years, the Santa Barbara News Press Reader's Choice Poll has awarded Tremblay Financial Services recognition for the financial guidance they provide their clients. Tremblay Financial Advisors continually educate their clients with new options and financial planning tailored fit to you. For more information or an appointment, call 569-1982 or log on to tremblayfinancial.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Centaurus Financial Inc., member FINRA and SIPC, a registered investment advisor. Tremblay Financial Services and Centaurus Financial are not affiliated companies. Investing involves risk, including potential loss of principal. No investment strategy can guarantee a profit or protect against a loss in periods of declining values.
Tied game. 3 runs apiece between the Sturs and the SLO Blues. Two teams playing for a 4th time this week. Game 4 of a 7-game season series. They will play again tomorrow and then have about a week and a half off between they play each other again. So here's Addison Klepsch with Spencer Gallimore remaining in this game. Righty-righty matchup. First pitch. It's an off-speed missing high for ball 1. Klepsch today has gone 0 for 4. Did reach on an error and scored the first run of the game back in the 6th. Here comes the 1-0. That fastball is located 1-1. Klepsch, Chamberlain, and Clark. And if Santa Barbara can get some base runners, apply all the pressure on the bottom of the 9th. Here comes a 1-1. Popped up and back under the grass berm. Past the bleacher seats and falls, and there's a swarm of kids surrounding that ball trying to get a prize on the return of a foul ball. Now 1-2. And Gallimore entered in the 8th inning after 2 runs were given up. Here's a 1-2 pitch. It's a slider rifled back towards the first base on deck circle. 1-2. One of the better arms for the SLO Blues, looking to keep it a tied game. It looks like Sam Stevens is warming up for Santa Barbara, likely to start the bottom of the 9th inning. Here comes a 1-2 pitch. That's going to miss upstairs on the fastball. 2-2. Actually, rather, I think it's Ethan O'Neill. The 7 versus a 2 looked a little familiar, or I should say a little close. But now the 2-2 pitch is popped up the elevator shaft and drifting back past the stadium seats and into the grass berm. Out of play. It's 2-2. So Klepsch stands back in after the foul ball. Remains 2-2. And here comes the pitch from Gallimore. On the ground, outside of third base, a chopper. And Klepsch fouls off a couple, and well done from Addison. Let's do our public address announcer, I should say the public address announcer for the Blues, saying over 1,100 fans in attendance today. Here comes the 2-2 and a swing and a miss on the off-speed. Klepsch goes down swinging for the first out in the 9th. And we do have confirmation it is Ethan O'Neill, number 37, not number 32. My eyes aren't that good. Warming up in the Forster bullpen, take over in the bottom of this inning. Will it be tied, or will Santa Barbara have the lead? Klepsch retired on strikes, and Gallimore's now K'd his first batter, rather his second, in the 3 that he has faced. Here comes the first pitch to Chamberlain. The left-handed batter will take a slider on the outside edge, strike one. Chamberlain got the Foresters on the board. RBI single in the 6th. He's also worked a walk. He's 1 for 3 today. Here comes the 0-1. And the changeup missed down and away to the left-handed batter. 1-1. Infield is straight away, as is the outfield. Tied game, top of the 9th. Gallimore winds up the 1-1 delivery. It's a slider just missing away. Good-looking pitch. Blues fans not too happy about the call, 2-1. And throughout the course of this game, I don't believe the manager for the Blues has been particularly happy with some of the calls today. But the 2-1. Fastball is fouled back directly behind the plate, 2-2. The shadows from the pine trees and the stadium lights extending longer. So we're just past 6:30 local time. Sun getting lower in the sky, setting to our right. Gallimore, one down, the base is clear. Winds up the 2-2 pitch. Check swing, it's down on a changeup. Full count. Can the Sturs get the go-ahead run on base? Next will be Brenton Clark. Remember, he had a pinch hit, base hit in the left. And Chamberlain, this season on base percentage of .500 entering today. Can he do it again? 3-2 pitch is away on the changeup from Gallimore. And a one-out walk from Cole Chamberlain, his second walk of the day to go along with an RBI single. And the Sturs have the go-ahead run now on base. That's going to bring up Brenton Clark. It was a solid day yesterday for Brenton, who said in batting practice yesterday, he talked with his hitting coach about a few things, a couple adjustments they wanted to make with his swing. Ended up going 2 for 3 with a walk. Already has a hit today when he pinched hit. Man on, one down, tied game in the 9th. First pitch to Brenton is fouled back. It was a fastball from Gallimore. 0-1. And a ground ball could end this inning for Gallimore. He posed the same question earlier when Chamberlain was aboard. He's 3 for 3 in stolen bases. Do you roll the dice and try to get him to second? Here's an 0-1. The slider is down, ball and a strike. We know how aggressive Bill Pintard loves to be on the bases. He's currently right in front of the opening at the third base dugout, observing his team play their 17th game of the season. 1-1 pitch, fastball misses in, ball 2. No one currently up in the Blues bullpen. Tying run, say go-ahead run now at first. After the walk by Chamberlain, it's now 2-1 the count for Clark. He loves going the other way. Now the 2-1 pitch is sprayed back just over the screen and ricochets hard off a building to our left, back onto the berm, 2-2. And Brenton Clark takes a moment, as does Gallimore. Clark stands back in, the left-handed batter, and the right-handed reliever, working from the first base side of the hill. With Chamberlain at first, one away. Will throw over to first base. More of a looping throw just so he doesn't balk with the man at first, having to throw over, stepping off. It's 2-2. Coming set. Here comes the delivery. As Clark spits on it, a breaking ball just missed down, and Gallimore saying, "Where did that miss?" Calling time, and the catcher Caruso springs up saying, "Where did that one miss?" And still more discourse with Gallimore and the plate umpire saying, "What happened there?" And now here comes Dean Traynor slowly out of the first base dugout. The count is now full. Caden Miller is on deck. Go-ahead run at first. Tied game in the 9th. Check over to the man at first, Chamberlain. In head first sliding. And just like Gallimore earlier today, it looks like he's wearing tan pants now instead of gray. But the way this infield dirt works, very dusty and very gritty. He's wearing a half tan uniform. Now the payoff pitch is a Drive into right field, drifting down to foul ground is Jordan. Does he have enough room? And he drops the ball in foul ground. He had enough real estate, a couple more feet, a couple more paces. From where I'm sitting, the view is obstructed by 2 poles and drops the ball in foul ground. And now it looks like the first baseman, Tollerman, preaching something to the first base umpire. And here comes Dean Trainer. And the way this game has gone, wouldn't be surprised if things escalate. Someone's getting tossed from the Blues. Brenton Clark has another life as that ball was catchable in foul ground. And once again, the manager for the Blues face-to-face with the first base umpire. And the plate umpire will now come down the first base line to tap into the conversation, so to speak. And it's a pretty intense conversation between the two parties. And remember, Trainer's been up talking to the umpires the last 2-3 innings. As the umpire still tries to go back to his position, and Dean Trainer still asking for more. And finally, Trainer going back to the first base dugout and talking a little bit with the plate umpire. Honestly surprised he hasn't been tossed at this point. And he's still hooting and hollering at the umpires. He remains in this game, shockingly. And the Blues fans letting the crew hear it. Tie game in the 9th, 1 on, 1 out. Check back to Chamberlain. So after all that, Brenton Clark, after the drop foul ball, sees a 3-2 pitch, and that's in there, called strike 3. Clark didn't think so, and Gallimore shakes his head in frustration back to the hill after getting a big second out. And that's going to bring up Caden Miller. Massive strikeout for Gallimore. Instead of having first and second, 1 down, he just has a runner at first, 2 out. For the left-handed batter, Caden Miller. First pitch, fastball misses away, and again, Gallimore saying, where did that miss? Not happy with the strike zone, and now Bill Pintard calling for time, and he's going to bring in a pinch runner. Liam Keithley will now run for Chamberlain. Liam Keithley to now run for Chamberlain. Currently slid into the 3rd spot in the order. 2 down, tied game in the 9th. First pitch missed to Miller. Here's the second. Fastball is on the inside edge. 1-1. Again, Gallimore shrugs his shoulders. Not too happy with that first pitch missing away. And still able to throw strikes with being a little hot under the collar, so to speak. He flares over to first, checks Keithley, and safe. Very close. Keithley regains a very large lead at first base. 2 down. Go ahead run at first for Santa Barbara. Top of the 9th inning, another check to Liam, and that throw was right near the dirt. Good pickoff move from the pitcher. A ball and a strike for Caden Miller, who's gone 1 for 3 with a walk. His base hit was in the right field. And a lot of real estate with the first baseman holding on to the runner at first base on the right side of the infield. Now, time being called by the catcher. What a game this has turned into down the stretch. 2 down. Will Keithley take off? Well, another check back over to him. Playing under the collegiate rules, as these players do in the collegiate ranks. No limit to pickoff attempts, as you see now. Professional baseball. Disengagement, so to speak. But now the 1-1 pitch is popped up on the infield. The catch will now drift over into foul ground, but it's the third baseman in front of the third base dugout, makes the squeeze, and the side retired. On to the bottom of the ninth inning. Tied at 3, Blues, Foresters.
During this time of record market highs and gradual economic recovery, it's essential you have someone you can trust. For 10 consecutive years, the Santa Barbara News Press Reader's Choice Poll has awarded Tremblay Financial Services recognition for the financial guidance they provide their clients. Tremblay Financial Advisors continually educate their clients with new options and financial planning tailored fit to you. For more information or an appointment, call 569-1982 or log on to tremblayfinancial.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Centaurus Financial Inc., member FINRA and SIPC, a registered investment advisor. Tremblay Financial Services and Centaurus Financial are not affiliated companies. Investing involves risk, including potential loss of principal. No investment strategy can guarantee a profit or protect against a loss in periods of declining values.
Couple of changes for Santa Barbara to the last of the ninth, tied at 3. Ethan O'Neill will now take over the right-handed reliever for Andrew Gardino, who went 3 innings. The new catcher after Cole Chamberlain was exited after a pinch runner for Liam Keithley is now Zane Becker behind the plate. So 2 changes as O'Neill will face 3, 4, and 5. Tied game in the ninth. First pitch is a slider missing down and away, ball 1. O'Neill pitched last 4 days ago against the Blues. When an inning, gave up 2 hits, no runs. He struck out 2. Here's a 1-0. High and in. Ball 2 nearly hit Donovan Jordan. Jordan has struck out 3 times today, but one swing of the bat can end this game with a walk-off for the Blues. 2-0 pitch, and that drops in nicely on the slider, 2-1. Jordan, Tollerman, Raymond, 3, 4, and 5 scheduled for SLO. Santa Barbara had a 1-out walk in the ninth, could not convert. Here comes a 2-1 offering, and the slider looks like more like a cutter from O'Neill in there for a strike, 2-2. Now 2-2 to the leadoff man. Now time being called, and the plate umpire looking over the first base dugout. And remember, there's already been quite some discourse as Dean Traynor now out of the first base dugout. Our plate umpire throws up the stop sign saying, "Don't come out anymore." It's pretty much as far as you can take without getting thrown out of the game for the manager today for the Blues. But now the 2-2 to the leadoff man, and that slider's down and away. Full count. Do not want to walk the leadoff man and put the winning run on base. And yesterday, the SLO Blues against a non-CCL team walked off the Santa Maria Indians in the ninth inning. We're currently tied at 3 in the last of the ninth. 3-2 pitch, swing and a miss. One down in the ninth, the slider from O'Neill. Big first out in the ninth inning. There's a 12th strikeout today by Santa Barbara pitching. Should we go to the 10th? The Stars have Kill, Farr, and Ryan. 6, 7, and 8 scheduled. But the batter is now Zach Tollerman. The hit from the right side against the right-hander reliever O'Neill. Infield straight away. Wind's blowing out towards the left. First pitch, swing and a miss, fooled on the slider. 0-1. That ball kicked up in the dirt on the delivery. So 0-1, one down, base is clear, and a tied game in the bottom of the ninth. 0-1 pitch. This one is chopped off the legs and fouled off his legs for strike 2. Remember, Zane Becker is now behind the plate after Cole Chamberlain, the starting catcher. Keith entered a pinch run, top half of the inning. After Tollerman will be Andrew Raymond. And Ethan O'Neill, fantastic work to strike out the first man he faced, not put the winning run on base. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. It's flared up shallow right. Maddox Mandino adjusts and camps out under it, 2 down. So with 2 down, base is clear. It's going to be Raymond. 0 for 3, a strikeout, fly out to center, and did reach on an E6, which led off the 7th inning. O'Neill will look to take us to the 10th inning, tied at 3. Here comes the first pitch as the left-handed batter see a ball in the dirt. One of the 2 lefties in this lineup today. And there is a man up for Santa Barbara in their bullpen. But O'Neill looks to take us to the 10th. 1-0 pitch, fastball high, ball 2. Taking care of the first 2 men he has faced. Remember, Kill, Farr, and Ryan. Should we go to the 10th, scheduled for Santa Barbara? Raymond's now ahead. Comes a 2-0 pitch, and the slider missed well away, did not slide. 3-0. The DH, Gavin Smith, stands next. Ethan O'Neill falling behind, 3 balls and no strikes. And Raymond, who hits from the left side, now see a 3-0 pitch, and that fastball's on the outside edge, 3-1. The Blues, for their second walk-off in 2 days' time. And Ethan O'Neill trying to take us to the 10th. 2 down. 3-1 pitch, swing and a miss on the fastball, full count. Looks like the winds have shifted a little bit, blowing more in towards the third base dugout, but still blowing out down that left field line. Ethan O'Neill fell behind 3-0. The count is now full. The tied game in the 9th, 2 down, 3-2 pitch is on the ground to the first baseman, Caden Miller. Will field it and trot over to first base, and we have extra baseball from San Luis Obispo. Ethan O'Neill faces the minimum onto the 10th. Terrence Kill, Sawyer Farr, Coleman Ryan coming up, tied at 3. Santa Barbara Airport has 5 airlines: American, Alaska, Delta Air, Southwest, and United, with 12 direct destinations from Santa Barbara to Atlanta, Dallas, Denver, Las Vegas, Oakland, Los Angeles, Salt Lake City, Portland, San Francisco, Phoenix, Seattle, and Sacramento. With 23 daily departures from Santa Barbara, SBA's newest daily service on Delta Airlines to Atlanta and Salt Lake City can ensure that you can get anywhere in the world in just one stop. SBA is proud to join over 200 airports around the world in the Hidden Disabilities Sunflower Program. Passengers with a disability can opt into the program, and in doing so, trained staff at SBA will be there to provide additional level of customer service. You can learn more at www.flysba.com. Once again, you can learn more and book your flights today from Santa Barbara at www.flysba.com. For the first time this season, the Forsters going into extra innings. Terrence Kill will lead off for Santa Barbara. And with the rules in the CCL, the ghost runner being placed at second base. And it's going to be Caden Miller, the final out in the last inning to run. TK squares around to bunt with the first pitch, missing upstairs by Spencer Gallimore for ball one. So the plan pretty apparent here for TK. Laid down the bunt. Get the sacrifice complete, move the runner to third, with Sawyer Farr, the switch hitter, standing on deck. Gallimore, the right-handed reliever, he's been a little bit frustrated with the strike zone from our plate umpire after entering in the middle of the 8th inning. Burn to the 10th, tied at 3. The ghost runner being put at second, it's Miller. Here comes a 1-0, TK squares around to bunt, it's a good one back to the hill. The catcher's going to come out, and the throw down to first is a little bit wide, but able to keep the back foot on the bag is Tollerman. That throw was on the second base side of first. Good stretch from the first baseman, but TK does his job. Advances Caden Miller to third base. That one went straight back to the hill and will go down as a 2-3 putout. So one away and a man at third. Now an extra innings top of 10. Batter is Sawyer Farr, who has brought home a run. First pitch. Fouled off over the third base dugout. Towering ball going in the parking lot to our left for strike one. The infield is playing in, trying to cut down Miller at the plate. On any soft contact from Sawyer. One away, man at third. 0-1 pitch is a slider, swing and miss. And Farr quickly falls behind 0-2. Farr's going to have to shorten up with the infield playing in. If you could just squirt something through the infield. Score the go-ahead run. At least got to get one. The 0-2 pitch is changeup away. Ball one. Sawyer's been hit by a pitch. Ground out to first. Foul out to left. And his last time up, a ground out to second, scored the first run of 2 in the 8th inning. That's when Santa Barbara tied it up at 3. That's where we are now. Man at third in the 1-2 pitch. Far did he go around? No, he did not. Able to lay off of it, just barely. That was real close on the check swing. Far kind of twisted as he checked his swing and left the barrel back and kind of spun out of the way. But it's 2-2. As Gallimore deals the 2-2 pitch, changeup away, full count. Coleman Ryan will be next for Santa Barbara. The second time in 2 years there have been extra inning games at Sinsheimer Park between these two clubs. 3-2 pitch to Farr is foul back behind home plate up the screen. So again, the ghost runner, Miller, was placed at second. The sacrifice from TK, advancing to third. So runner at third, one down. Tied game in the top of the 10th. Sawyer Farr, who hits from the left side. Now see a 3-2 pitch, and that is ball 4. Changeup misses away. And the runners now on the corners. The infield now moved back, and here comes Dean Trainer, now the first base dugout. It looks like he's moving straight to the hill. Well, there'd be a pitching change. The next batter will be Coleman Ryan, a right-handed hitter. In the bottom of the 10th inning, 6, 7, 8 will be scheduled for the Blues. Bill Pintard, you see out of the third base dugout, confer with his associate head coach, Steve Schuck. As he will now bring in Coleman Ryan, the next batter, and Easton Mumaw. The go-ahead run is at third. Sawyer Farr is now at first. And after that sacrifice, you have one out. Farr does well to work a walk. By the way, that was his 15th walk of the year. One of the best on the team in that department. You got to at least get one. You can't go into the bottom of the 10th inning with a runner being placed at second and 3 outs to bring him home. You got to get at least one with Miller at third base. And Trainer, a long conversation, the manager for the Blues. He's going to keep Spencer Gallimore in this ball game. But now with the man at first base, a double play in order. Would not be surprised to see Sawyer Farr try to take off, draw a throw down to second, and open up a channel home for Caden Miller. So the infield at double play depth. We'll see what happens on the running game. And a check over too far on a very soft throw. That was a very arcing throw. No intent really to make a play at Sawyer, but had to throw over. First and third, one down. Another check to Farr. This time more of a committed throw to first base. Still awaiting the first pitch to Coleman Ryan. And Ryan today, he's gone 2 for 4 with a run batted in. Here comes the pitch, squares around to bunt, pops up into foul ground. Maybe a chance for the first baseman. Tollerman was lurking. It looked like he might be able to lay out in foul ground and rob the Sturs of their second out as that bunt was popped up. And good thing for Santa Barbara, that ball wasn't a little farther up the line or more towards fair ground, or that could have been out number 2. Well, Ryan square around, and they try to squeeze him home. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. No bunt this time, but it's popped up in the foul ground, drifting now as the catcher gets out under it, makes the play, runner holds, and Sawyer Farr will stay at first base. No one was holding on to him, and he was halfway down to second base, but with first base open, Tollerman, the first baseman, was in foul ground. No reason for Farr to be in any hurry going back to first base. So Coleman Ryan shoots it up the silo. Foul out by the catcher to retire Ryan, and that's going to bring up Easton Mumaw. Now 2 down. Infield back to double play depth. First and third. You got to score at least Caden Miller, the ghost runner who is at third. Here comes the first pitch to Easton. Sawyer Farr is going to take off. No throw down. Smart play by the catcher to make sure the runner at third holds. That's something that you have to live with. You don't throw down. If the throw gets away, you could bring home the go-ahead run. So no throw down. Farr, a stolen base. So 2 in scoring position, 2 down. Tied game in the top of the 10th. And here comes the 0-1 pitch to Mumaw, and the slider's in there for a strike. 0-1. Rather, it's now 0-2, and Easton really needs to shorten up. 2 in scoring position, 2 out, 0-2. Pitch, is that going to be high? Ball 1. Fastball upstairs from Gallimore. Santa Barbara, can they bring home the go-ahead run? You're tied at 3. Gallimore looks to second, and he's going to step off. And now the catcher, Caruso, out to make sure they got everything straightened out. So again, recapping this inning, Miller placed at second, the tiebreak runner, ghost runner. Sacrificed over to third by Terrence Kill. Far work to walk. Coleman Ryan fouled out to the catcher behind the plate. Now Easton Mumaw at a 1-2 count. Ball game in the balance. Top of the 10th tied game. 1-2 pitch. Change up away. 2-2. Should somehow Mumaw reach and the runners hold. Or regardless, if Mumaw reaches, Mandino will be next. Gallamore's going to step off again. And after getting ahead 0-2 on Easton Mumaw, looks to second. Fires home the 2-2 pitch, and it's down the left field line. It's a base hit. Miller will score from third, and from second base, Sawyer Farr will come in to score, and Easton Mumaw, a 2-run single, and Santa Barbara now have a 5-3 lead in the 10th. What a plate appearance from Easton Mumaw. Fell behind 0-2. Goes the other way, the left-handed batter able to get it past Brendan Comerford, the third baseman. Santa Barbara now have a 5-3 lead. And Easton Mumaw, Mr. Clutch, he entered this game in the 8th. He worked a walk and a 2-run single. And the batter is now Mandino. Here's the pitch. And this is into right field. It's a base hit from first. Mumaw is going to be held up at second base, and back-to-back hits for the Sturs. Mandino has found some success off the first pitches today against San Luis Obispo pitching. 1 pitch and a base hit in the first, 1 pitch in the 10th and a base hit, both of which into right. And the batter is now Addison Klepsch. 5-3 the Foresters lead. Top of the 10th inning. First and second, 2 down. Here's the delivery, and the slider's in there for a strike, 0-1. And by the way, for Mandino, he's now got 3 hits, 3 for 6 on the day. Here comes the 0-1, and the slider's going to miss down 1-1. Santa Barbara was trailing by 3 into the 6th inning. A run in the 6th. 2 runs in the 8th, and now 2 runs in the 10th. They look for more. Klepsch today's gone 0 for 5. First and second, 2 out. Here's the 1-1, well away, and a great grab from Caruso sliding to his right on his knees. Ball 2. But Easton Mumaw brought home 2 runs in the 10th. 2-1 deliveries, a slider, and just tapped off the end of the bat by Klepsch. 2-2. Should Klepsch reach? Shane Becker would be next for Santa Barbara. But it's a 5-3 lead for the Sturs, top of 10. 2 down. First and second is Gallimore. Steps off again, not on the same page with Caruso. Remember, in the bottom of the inning, 6, 7, 8 will be scheduled for the Blues. Here comes the 2-2 pitch, and the slider misses away. Full count. Mumaw at first. Rather, Mumaw's at second now. Mandino's at first after the base hit. Both will be on the move with 2 out. 3-2 pitch, and this is chopped right side here. Sam Ardois holds his ground and retires Klepsch at first base, but Santa Barbara does their job courtesy of Easton Mumaw. 2-run single down the left field line, and we're going to the bottom of the 10th. Stars leading 5-3 over the Blues.
Lee & Sons Plumbing and Heating is proud to join the Foresters family of sponsors this season. I, Conan, a third-generation owner, was proud to coach for the Foresters for several seasons. Just like the Foresters are champs on the field, Lee & Sons are champs off it. We're experts in every type of plumbing and heating service and repair, from leaks and clogs to heaters and faucets. Strike out your plumbing problems by calling us at 805-965-9586. Lee & Sons, the champions of plumbing and heating. 805-965-9586. Stir it up.
Santa Barbara now have a 5-3 lead going into the bottom of the 10th. Ethan O'Neill remains in this game. He entered in the 9th, faced the minimum. He's now going to face 6, 7, and 8. Smith, Comerford, and Caruso scheduled for the SLO Blues. And if Santa Barbara finish off this ball game, they will erase a 3-run deficit entering the 6th inning. They come from behind to win to level the season series against the SLO Blues. They lost the first 2 games in this season series, picked up a 10-3 win on the 25th 3 days ago, and now 3 outs away from tying the season series 2 games apiece. It remains with Ethan O'Neill standing in a pitcher's mound that is completely encompassed by a pine tree shadow, which jaggedly extends its way into the infield. Here is Gavin Smith, the right-handed DH. Andrew Raymond placed at second, the final out in the 9th. Here's the first pitch. It's going to be a slider for a strike, 0-1. So remember, the ghost runner being placed at second. But the Blues trailing by 2 runs. The Sturs were able to capitalize courtesy of Easton Mumma. Here comes an 0-1. And a slider front doors its way into the right-handed batter, 0-2. Smith today has gone 0 for 3. Ground out to short, struck out looking, then grounded into a double play. Also to the shortstop, Coleman Ryan. O'Neill looks to second. Here comes the 0-2 pitch, and the slider will miss upstairs, ball 1. Brendan Comerford does stand on deck. Raymond at second. Santa Barbara leading 5-3 in the bottom of the 10th, looking for 3 outs. O'Neill from the first base side of the hill delivers a 1-2 pitch. Slider down and away. 2-2. Remember, these 2 teams will play again tomorrow. 2 o'clock first pitch in Santa Barbara. Infield a double play depth, corners in a fraction. Comes the 2-2 pitch and just fouled back. Getting a piece of it was Smith. Fouled it back in the screen, halfway up directly behind the plate. Santa Barbara look to maintain their advantage in the CCL South, and of course, their rivalry against the Blues look to level the series. O'Neill got ahead, 0-2. Smith, a couple of good takes. Comes the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. 1 down in the 10th. Runner holds at second. Looked like that slider again from O'Neill, inducing the swing and miss. The off-balance swing from the DH. And that's going to bring up Brendan Comerford. Even though there is a man at second base, the tying run is at the plate. It's a 5-3 lead for the Sturs. 1 down in the 10th. Look to second. O'Neill fires on the first pitch. Big swing and miss on the fastball. 0-1. Comerford today. Fly out to left, foul out to first, and a walk. And it's second, but the tying run is at the plate, and Becker calls time, the catcher for Santa Barbara. The first extra innings game of the year for the Santa Barbara Foresters. And a crowd here at Sinsheimer Stadium that is thinned out. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Foul back. It was another fastball from Ethan O'Neill. 0-2. The official attendance today, 1,182 here at Sinsheimer Park. The tying run at the plate. 5-3, the Foresters lead. Bottom of 10. Ethan O'Neill struck out the first man he faced. Delivers the 0-2 pitch to Comerford, and the slider just misses away. Ball 1. SLO Blues scored in the first, third, and fifth. Haven't scored since that point. 5 unanswered runs scored by Santa Barbara. O'Neill will deal the 1-2 pitch, and the slider's in there. Called strike 3, and Comerford goes down looking back-to-back Ks for O'Neill. That is the third strikeout of the day for O'Neill and the 14th for Santa Barbara pitching. And the Blues down to their final out in the bottom of the 10th. Tying run is still at the plate. The ghost runner Raymond remains at second, 2 down. And it is Charlie Caruso to bat from the left side against the right-handed pitcher, Ethan O'Neill. Looking for one more out. Here's the pitch. It's spread over the third base dugout, out of play into the parking lot. Strike one. Caruso today has gone 1 for 3. Had the triple that landed right at the base of the wall back in the 5th. Went in the third base cruising. Ethan O'Neill. It's a long hold. Now time being called by the hitter Caruso. Ethan O'Neill standing on the shadow and compass hill. Looks to second. Fires the 0-1 pitch. It's on the ground left side. Here is Easton Muma. The backhand, a little bit of a fumble, and the throw to first was not in time. Runners on the corners, and that brings the winning run to the plate for the Blues. And it's going to go down as an E5. In the bottom of the 10th, a 2-out error to keep the hope alive for the Blues. Tying run is at first. Raymond, the ghost runner, is now at third. And that's going to bring up Sam Ardois. Ardois has 2 home runs this year. Winning run now at the plate for the Blues. First and third, 2 down. Here's the pitch. It's up the middle. Here comes Coleman. Ryan charges in. Tough play. A little bit of a collision, but the throw to first, not in time. And a run's going to come in to score. There was a collision between Coleman, Ryan, and Easton Muma. The shortstop, Ryan, and Muma collided a few paces in front of second. Unsure on who was going to field that ball. The throw was late. It was indeed Ryan, the shortstop, who collected it. Was bumped by Muma. A run comes in to score. It is now a 5-4 ball game, and Ardois will go down as an infield single and an RBI. And now a pinch runner is being brought in at second to represent the tying run, the winning run now on base, and here comes Bill Pintard. There is a man up, tossing for Santa Barbara. It's still Eves. Do they go to him here? And after a 2-out error in the bottom of the 10th, a play on the infield, which could have been made, the collision with the left side infielders, tying run now at second, winning run for the Blues at first. Steele Eves is warming up, and Bill Pintard likely milk as much as he can out of this conversation. All this coming with 2 down. Ethan O'Neill struck out the first 2 men he has faced, induced 2 ground balls. Granted, not easy ground balls. A hard hit ball to Muma at third, which resulted in an E5. And Sam Ardois chopped one up the middle. Tying run at second, winning run at first for the Blues. 5-4 the ball game. Santa Barbara currently leads, bottom of the 10th, 2 out. And it's going to be E.J. Royal at the top spot in the order. O'Neill looks to second. Here comes the first pitch, and it misses inside, nearly hits him. Ball 1. Infield is straight away, as is the outfield. The outfielder's in the middle of the lawn, all the way around the outfield. First and second, tying run at second base. 1-0 pitch is lined straight to Easton Muma. He knocks it down. Can he apply the tag? Yes, he can on the runner from second. Muma slaps the tag, and there is the ball game. A hard hit ball off one sharp hop to Easton Muma, knocked it down, and was able to slap the tag on Charlie Caruso, the runner at second, for the third and final out of this ball game. Wow. This game, what a performance from Santa Barbara. Come from behind victory, a 5-4 victory for the Santa Barbara Foresters. 5 straight unanswered runs, and Ethan O'Neill is going to pick up the victory. Spencer Gallimore will be the losing pitcher today, and Santa Barbara have leveled the series against the SLO Blues on the road. Win the game on Thursday, win the game here today. Season series 2 games apiece, and they're going to be playing again tomorrow at 2 o'clock local time in Santa Barbara. And what a performance from Easton Mumaw. Came in late. 2 RBI single to give the Sturs the lead. He was able to record the final out of this ball game. Got a little bit dicey, but the Sturs able to shut the door on the Blues. 5-4 victory in 10 innings. Let's not forget A.J. Crodell, 5 innings, 7 strikeouts. Fantastic stuff from him. Andrew Gardino, 3 innings, no hits, 4 strikeouts. And Ethan O'Neill picks up his first win of the summer. And Bill Pintard currently having a conversation with O'Neill and Eves, the man who's warming up just in front of the plate, talking about the day, and you can see some happy smiles on the Forester faces. They come from behind victory, and they win in 10. Final score, 5-4 over the Blues, and we're going to do it all again tomorrow. 2 o'clock first pitch when the Blues make the trip down to Santa Barbara to play their 5th game of this season series. So, for the entire team, entire coaching staff, for the entire front office, I am Hunter Shoemake saying so long from SLO. The Sturs win it in 10. They come from behind win. They take it 5-4 over their rivals. We'll see you tomorrow.